Rayan and Barcola have been once again heavily linked with Liverpool as they continue their search for a winger. A winger has decided to stay at their club, which rules Liverpool out of making a move. And Szoboszlai has committed his long-term future. What does that mean for him? What does that mean for the rest of the squad? People, it's Kopish Kollab live, and Tom's in a very petty mood. Let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kop-Ish.
Made free back again, ripping LFC till the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're a 10 champions, we the best, we come again. Kop-Ish clean up in every region, elevation in every season. Couch up in all the fast match up in real rap, and drifty go on tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kop-Ish, this is Kop-Ish. Reppin' Liverpool till the end, champions, we the best, come again. This is that, this is Kop-Ish, this is Kop-Ish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kop-Ish.
Yes, lovely people, hope you're all well, hope you are doing good. Please do smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and make sure you check out our sponsors, okjersey.com. for football jerseys, and use the promo code Kopish for an extra 8% off. I would usually start by asking how you're both doing, but we spoke before we started the stream. Tom, you've got some stuff you want to get off your chest because I'm not here for the whole show today. So go on, bro. Do your thing.
No, I think everyone, look, there's something important to know. We all laugh and joke with each other on here, but deep down, we're all good mates. So I think today we want to take a minute of silence just so we can allow Cal to grieve the fact that Jared Bowen won't be joining Liverpool, because his efforts this summer to convince us that Jared Bowen should come to Liverpool, they're ultimately fruitless. But let's not lose sight of what a good effort it was and what work he put in to get us there. So please, if everyone could, just take a moment of silence and appreciate everything that Cal did this summer trying to convince us on Jared Bowen, because I'm not going to mention a certain C word, which has been doing the rounds when Bastoni turned out to have charges against him. Schlotterbeck's knee blew up. You mentioned Michael Elise, that can't happen. He's now no longer allowed to mention certain players that we want to sign. So let's just take a minute and allow Cal to grieve, where we can all support him, that he can't, get Jared Bowen over the line this summer and he's going to have to settle for, God forbid, one of my suggestions on the wing.
That was dark, Tom.
I'm going to remember this, Tom.
That was dark, bro.
I mean, we've had a great start from Cal. Bear in mind, he couldn't actually look down the camera at the intro stay because I told him just beforehand, please have a good intro stay. So I knew that if he looked down the camera and looked at me, he would have burst out laughing. So he's already on the back foot. He's already doing a McGregor in that fight. He's went for a flying kick. His knee's gone. He's buckled. He's panicking. His back's up against the wall right now. He's worried. So, this news has come at possibly the worst time for him. And now, it's lucky that he's not going to be here for the Rayan and Barcola section, because you might have witnessed someone cry on camera.
Can I just say something about this situation? As much as everyone's going to enjoy clowning Cal.
Tom, you done, yeah? You done. Cool. Go.
It'll never be done. Everyone's going to enjoy clowning Cal on this section. But I must admit, the thought of him not being an option at all, it's a little freaky when we see how little options there actually are.
No, let's just do that.
I kind of like the idea of him being a backup, just in case. Now that's gone, does make things a tiny little bit spookier. Can't lie.
Yeah, but Drift, what you got to consider is it's actually even more funny that Cal can't get another guy. Like he tried to shake that Cal curse last summer. It's come back in full fucking force this summer. It's come back in different ways. Typically, it's just a player gets injured. We've had 3 new ways for a player to rule themselves out when moves to Liverpool. We've had criminal charges and criminal investigation. We've had an injury. And we've now had, fuck it, I'll sign a new contract before I play for them because Callum Sanderson mentioned me by name. Like, the Cal case is evolving and developing. We're seeing revelations before our eyes here, people. Let's enjoy what we're seeing. We're seeing greatness. We're seeing greatness.
It's mad still.
Tom, you good? You done now?
For a couple of minutes, yeah.
Hold on a minute. This could get a bit dark.
Well, the thing is, I'd be, what it's like. When your team's desperate for a goal in the last 20 minutes, so they start lumping the ball up and just try and make anything stick. That's what I'm like, because I've only got Cal for the next 15 or so minutes. if you were here for the full stream, I'd be a bit more composed. You'd see me passing it round the back, recycling the play. Right now, it's Dan Burns up front for me. I'm lumping long balls and trying to get knockdowns here because I'm not getting the full 2-hour session to keep jabbing you with the fact that your top target has decided he would rather play in the Championship than sign for Liverpool because you mentioned him by name.
Or is it because he just knew that Liverpool weren't coming in for him? Because apparently 29 is way too old to buy for a footballer now. But when you look at the World Cup, the players dominating the competition are all 25, 26 and older.
Yeah,
but let's just stick to getting kids, man. 29. Let's just say again.
So not 29.
How old's Rodri?
Rodri, he's got one knee, so it's a bit sort of we wouldn't buy him because of injury. Not
playing the World Cup final though, bossed again. How old's Messi?
Messi's got a criminal case in Spain, so we're probably not the smartest move to go buy him.
Oh, okay.
Does he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's got the tax cases still, surely. The amount of money he got, you know. No way he got taxed on that properly.
So, do you know, Rayan and Barcola have been linked.
Drifty had one request before the stream starts, and you've ignored.
I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. Szoboszlai signed a new contract.
There we go. See, Drift, because you've done so much work. I was going to try and make you talk now, so he didn't have to do it. So I'm looking out for you, dear Drift. I know his head's gone because of Bowen, but let's try and get things on track here, people. Let's not lose our heads.
I'm not even going to lie. For once, Tom's right. My head is gone at the moment. I'm not going to lie. This transfer window right now, my head is on Mars. Like.
What, because of the Bowen thing, or you mean?
No, not just because of the Bowen, just the way we're moving. I'm seeing other clubs getting good deals over the line, and it's making me just think, what's going on? Like, my head is on planet Mars right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's how I felt yesterday when I saw Villa get my player. And
I don't know what we're doing at the moment.
I mean, I've been enjoying watching training. You know what mood I'm in at the minute? Maybe Pep Linders was right all along. Training is our transfer. Have you seen some of them inside trainings? They're fucking good, you know. They're fucking good. The intensity that we're playing with, it's like intensity is our identity again. Training is our transfer. We're on the right track here, Cal. I don't know why you're panicking.
It has been fun watching inside training. I don't know if it's just because I miss the lads because obviously football finished a month and a half ago or whatever. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I have been enjoying.
I mean, to be fair, I've enjoyed inside training, living up to its name for once, and not being inside the talk around the coffee bar. I've enjoyed watching the training sessions and seeing the manager train and work these players are. That's been good to see.
Did you see the new video that dropped today? I haven't watched it yet, but apparently Kirkers and Szoboszlai are like captains in some kind of verses.
It's not the greatest of videos. It's a bit cheesy. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit cheesy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they can be as cheesy as they want. If they start winning fucking games, do what you want.
Does anyone else's team do that? Because I pay no attention to anyone else's fans.
Yeah, they do.
The other teams do the whole. They do.
Yeah. They do cheese.
But they do it the way we do it with every game as well. So you got inside Anfield.
Oh, so inside training. I thought you were talking about just the video specifically today.
No. So you see, like every week we'll have the inside training, and then we'll have the inside Anfield after the game, and you get that different perspective behind the scenes.
A lot of clubs do that. Yeah. And I know that the likes of Barcola and Real Madrid do it. And I think City do it as well. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I love watching it. You see, if we get a really good victory, like the year we won the league, I used to proper look forward to watching inside Anfield after the wins, and you get like the whole breakdown, and I love watching all that shit. I'm not gonna lie. So,
I mean, it'll be good. It'll be good watching it next year because we know that Szoboszlai will be having his head fully screwed onto Liverpool and not potentially a Real Madrid move.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. Sobo ain't dropped his standards at all in the last year. At all.
I'm not saying he had done,
and but did you never once spoken about Real Madrid? That's all been fan made up.
I'm not saying. Oh, whoa.
No,
I understand that Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have put a bee in your bonnet, but don't go take it out on me because I've done nothing wrong so far.
Sobo, this whole I don't understand where this fan hatred for Sobo has come from. When
I'm not hating him. I was trying to direct the conversation back to it.
No, you literally just said he hope he has his head screwed on because of his whole contract enrollment and like.
No, I said it'll be good to have his head screwed on because
his head's always been screwed on.
Did you not hear what Fabrizio said yesterday? Contact had already started from other clubs talking to Szoboszlai and his agents about a 2027 move.
Yeah, it happens.
So I'm just saying I'm glad now that he's got the contract sorted. So those flirts, whatever, they're not going to happen. His head's going to be fully screwed on Liverpool.
What flirting did he do? What flirting did Szoboszlai do?
Clubs were talking to his agents. I'm just fucking hell. How would I go semantics?
Talking to his agent. That doesn't mean he's flirting. That's an agent's job. If the contract's not getting sorted, then obviously he has to look for his client's next move. Where's he been flirting?
Flirting happens behind closed doors, mate. We're not privy to all this. I'm just saying.
So we're not privy to it, but he's definitely been flirting behind closed doors. Yeah?
I'm just going off what Fabrizio said. Clubs were speaking to him and his agents about a potential 2027 move.
He's a brilliant footballer.
I know they would. I'm saying this is a good thing for fuck's sake. I'm sitting there going, it's good that he's signing a new contract because he's one of our most important players, and his head will be fully screwed on next year. Rather than we have a whole season of will he, won't he sign a contract? And in the summer of will he, won't he sign a contract? And another one of will he, won't he sign a contract? Because we've done that for 3 years now, and it's shite. So I'm glad
I agree with that.
The key players are signing deals. You need to nail Curtis Jones. You sort that one out. That's the big one now. And then you can... who else is going at the end of the next season? It's Alisson, Van Dijk, Curtis,
Harvey,
Endo, Harvey, Ramsey, and someone else.
Yeah.
You've got 7
Virgil
players
and
going.
Alisson are staying, Tom. Let's not put that in the atmosphere, bro.
Drift. I've got a lot of time for you, mate, but I've got to deal with delusions when they happen. Gomez is the other one. I've got to deal with delusions when they happen. Do you think Liverpool Football Club are going to give a 36-year-old another contract after they spent 7 months debating whether to give the 33, 34-year-old version a new contract? I think that it's pretty obvious that Van Dijk's going.
Here's my positivity on it. One, it will be different people doing the negotiation, so I hope they're not as arsehole-ish around the situation because Hughes even went and done his best friend dirty. He doesn't seem to have any morals in this game. And I'm hoping off the back of a good season, the club will be smart enough to realise it won't be because he's still the only thing we have, but just be smart enough to understand the way Thiago Silva stayed at Chelsea, the way Kompany stayed at City. I mean, he used to get injured, but just it's brilliant to have players like that. Like Milner left Liverpool at 37 and he was still valuable off the field. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, I would hope that the club would actually see the value in Virgil being around.
I get you. And I would want Van Dijk to stay because I do still think that he's, even at his age, he's one of the best centre-backs around.
Yeah.
But even with new people doing negotiations, it doesn't change the baseline thing of Liverpool Football Club. How much is Van Dijk on? He's on, 350, 400 grand a week?
I think, yeah.
They're not going to give him another contract unless he lowers them wages.
Maybe he will.
Maybe he will, and that's the best case scenario for everyone.
Willing to accept less.
But there also comes a situation that if he's 36, he's achieved everything he can do at Liverpool Football Club. If the Saudis come in, he's making a fucking killing there.
Would you not think it's still worth that? So let's say he performs to the level he just did for the last 12 months, where it wasn't the amazing guy he is, but he was still our best centre-back and he was still good. Do you not think the club will see 350 as... Oh, all right, let's even say as a slightly better season this year because we're in a better
I'll be honest,
state.
Drift. I'll be honest. I think the Mohamed Salah contract has really sort of burned the club in a sense because they gave him that they had the faith in him, and it was just like a fucking light switch. And there can be reasons for that. There can be external factors for that outside of Mohamed Salah's control. But they gave Mohamed Salah the biggest contract in this club's history, on the belief that even though he was 32, 33, he'd continue at those levels. Once he got that big contract, he went on to have his worst season in a Liverpool shirt.
We know it weren't his fault, though.
Regardless of if it is his fault or not, the football club don't look at it that way. So that's the side of it that I think with Van Dijk, because they got burnt by the Salah one, I wonder if they're going to be as eager to hand out these big contracts to older players, or if they're going to go back into the shell on that front, because it was weird that they did it for Salah and Van Dijk in the first place, because they'd never done it then. They did it that time. As much as I'd want them to do it again, I don't know whether they will after the Salah situation. That's the way I see it.
I'm going to hold on to the faith that they realise that Van Dijk is too important to let walk away. But yeah, we'll see, innit?
I think
You lot need to fix this overlay as well. Why is Canate still on the overlay?
Yeah, we will. For the new season, we'll get it sorted. If that's okay with you, Tom.
I mean, I just think it should be. I just think it should be getting done now. You know, the transfer window's open. Ibrahim Konate is no longer a Liverpool player. Why are we advertising?
Don't worry, Xhaka will be replacing him. Don't worry.
Neither Salah. Neither Salah, but we see that Konate is a problem for you. So
I was going to mention Salah, but we've been speaking about Salah. Don't worry, I'm not going to fall into some trap that you try to lay there. Mohamed Salah doesn't have a club. Mohamed Salah doesn't have a club, so he can still be there. He's like, you know, he's not moved out yet. He's just sort of there still. Konate's moved out. He's with his new girl. He's fucked us right off. Why would I still be advertising him? What if someone's come into this stream who knows nothing about Liverpool and they look at the overlay and go, "Oh, I like that one there at the end. Maybe he'll be my new favourite player." And then they turn on the preseason game. He's not there.
Do you know what happened, Tom? They'd see you and think, "Oh, that's the geezer that wanted Jurgen Klopp out. I won't watch this anymore."
No, because if they'd never watched Liverpool,
Liverpool before, they wouldn't know. I'm not Drift. My name's Callum. Wow.
First Konate now. Where did I say Drift?
So let me get this straight. The haircut. I'm now Drifty. Konate still in the picture.
I didn't call you Drift.
You just said Drift.
I didn't.
Drift, did you hear it?
I missed it. I don't. Yeah,
I didn't call you Drift.
Wow, Tom. Okay. Maybe Sam's been right all this time, bro. I just didn't see
it. We need a VAR check on that one. I don't know.
I think the referee caught it.
That's something new. That's something new. Barefaced lying on my name. That is mental. I did not call you Drift.
Wow. No, it's all right, Tom, man. It's all right. Barcola. No, in fact, let's start with Rayan. I still don't know what's going on with the whole Barcola thing, because for me, we've got 4 players who can play left wing at the moment. I don't see why we get Barcola if someone doesn't leave. But we have no right wingers apart from Chiesa, and I think everyone expects Chiesa to move on this summer. But after news came out today that he clocked the fastest speed in training, maybe that's just gonna cause an uproar in the fan base, and we're gonna.
Look, I'm here for the Chiesa redemption arc.
You man don't want you. I get it. None of you lot want success.
What do you mean, you man? Why are you bunching me with that opinion?
Because you should have jumped in and been like, no, Kiesa's got to go. But Tom, you didn't say anything, so you're coupled in.
You know what?
Would you keep? No, wait. Would you keep Chiesa? See, Derek says you.
As he was like in pre-season.
Derek just said it. You called me Drift.
I didn't call him Drift.
We're gonna run it back, Tom. When the show's finished, we're gonna run it back.
You wouldn't be happy if Chiesa was like the 7th choice winger, as in like.
No, I wouldn't be happy then. He's on
5th choice winger. Say.
He's still on 150 grand a week. If he's gonna not play meaningful minutes.
So let me get this straight. We want to have. Let's say we've got Rayan and Barcola. We're gonna have Rayan, Barcola, Munoz, Rio, Gakpo, and Chiesa.
No. I think if they was to buy Rayan and Barcola, I think they'd accept the money for Gakpo. They've got to recoup some of that money. That will cost us over 200 M's just for them 2 players. I think they'd let Spurs have Gakpo, or Gakpo would go to like Germany or somewhere like that. There's no way we live in a world where we buy Rayan and Barcola and don't recoup money from a big sell from a McAllister or Gakpo or somebody.
I'm not going to help Carl on his mini breakdown earlier. Have you not considered a world where we don't buy a winger this summer?
Oh, that's the reason why we're a bit like.
I said this.
Crash out.
The right wing's a revolving door between Rio, Frimpong, Chiesa if he stays, and probably Szoboszlai.
I think you lot are underestimating just how much of a negative impact Slot had on Chiesa's Liverpool career. I am willing to. If he goes, he goes. I get it. But at 28 years old and knowing the talent he had, that, obviously injury may have ruined, but the talent he had, I am not opposed to having Iraola get a chance to see if he can get him back. Because you know what we do get out of Chiesa if he gets even some form of resemblance of a Chiesa back? We get someone who's actually good in front of goal. And we need as many people who are good in front of goal as we can. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm not sitting there like being like, yeah, let's ride the wave and let's make sure that's like the plan. But I'm not against it.
Where did you get that Chiesa running stat from?
No, it's official, bro. I think they did it on the
not official.
It's not.
Is it
You
not
got
official?
fucking. It's you
Wasn't
got
it
Anfield
wasn't it
papered.
on their Twitter?
You got Anfield papered.
That's what I said. I never said it's official. I just said people are going to see the running stat and go crazy with it.
It's a fake running stat. It's not real.
It definitely wasn't Anfield papered. Because I know Luke doesn't follow Anfield papered.
I've got the tweet here.
If it's fake, then it's fake.
Look, Chiesa. I wanted Chiesa before he blew his knee up. He was what you saw from at the Euros and that season at Juventus. Really, really good. Really good. He hasn't played any consistent, meaningful football for 2.5 years now. Nearly 3 years. Even that last year at Juventus, he played games, but it wasn't. He wasn't really in there like that, and then he got forced out. And since he's been at us, it's been 2 years of what?
No, Tom, I think he played quite a lot of football that year for Juve.
Yeah, but the standard wasn't very high, and he didn't look great. There's a reason why they were willing to let him go for 12 million quid. It's not. He hasn't performed.
Apparently, it was his wage demands. I get what you mean. His career hasn't been great since the injury, but I think it was his wages that Juve needed to get rid of him more than they didn't like him.
I mean, the real problem, even if you want to factor in that Juve see we're still on 2 years now where he's played.
Does that not mean he's fresh, Tom? 2 years of not being ran into the ground. Does that not mean maybe he's got a little bit of, he can get a second wind and it'll be like a little. I'm just saying, if he was fifth choice winger, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, honestly, with a manager that might be able to get a tune out of him.
Striff, I've got to ask the question, bro. Who from this team would you sell?
An absolute guarantee who I would sell.
Yeah.
I would. Endo kind of speaks for itself, poor kid, but like Endo's got to go.
So you call Endo the poor kid?
Poor kid. I'm just because of the injury in it. I'm just trying not to be. If we do get 2 wingers.
No, forget about who we're going to get. Who would you sell from this team that you don't think is good enough to lead Liverpool to a title charge, or if they're in a team for a decent amount of time? Who would you sell?
Probably would be Endo and Chiesa. So I'm just not opposed to Chiesa being given a chance because I still think there's a possibility you can get a tune out of him.
Based on what, though, Drew?
Based on the fact that they usually, how's the saying go? Talent is permanent, right? So if you can just get his fitness and his motivation back, the talent is still going to be there. He's still Federico Chiesa, at the Euros, amazing, at that time, world-class.
That was all before his knee blew up.
That was like 20.
Why are we assuming that he can't get back to that form when we watched so many people recover from that?
Wasn't that 5 years ago, Drew?
It was 5 years ago.
It was, but we've watched a lot of people recover from that injury, and he's just had a lot of unfortunate. I'm not saying he's going to be able to be the Chiesa he was 5 years ago, but good enough to be a fifth choice winger and come off the bench, affect games, get goals in the last 20 minutes.
I'm sorry,
that kind of thing.
If we're having a fifth choice winger, I'd rather the fifth choice winger be like a Josh Abe, or something. If you're gonna not buy a winger, if your winger setup is you've got 4 guys and you just need a fifth guy and it's either Chiesa or someone else, I'd rather it be a youngster who's got a long-term future than Chiesa on 150 grand a week. Who
150 ain't even a lot anymore, Tom. Let's be honest.
I don't care about the salary, Tom. I do care. I do understand where you
do.
come from the profile, though. I get where you come from with the profile.
I'd rather be a 16-year-old.
But Drift. So, when you say Chiesa could get it back, like I don't get where that's coming from. And then Tom, you say about 150k, yeah, but Salah's just gone. He was on 400k. Konate just gone. He was on 70k. Like Robbo's just gone. He was on 100 on
Cal,
like,
I'm calling the wage bill to not keep fucking stragglers on board.
Do you not remember the last 5 games of last season? The first 5 games of last season when we weren't playing really well, but we were winning, right? Chiesa was coming off the bench and having an impact. If Slot hadn't done all the crap he done and kept Chiesa's motivation, I think that type of a player off of the bench could have been very helpful throughout the season. So if he could play that role for a whole season with a good environment under a good manager who will put an arm around him and utilize him, do you not think it would be cool to have a player on the bench that with 20 minutes to go can make an impact, can grab a goal if we need a goal?
So, but Drift, so we're looking at it like what attackers are we expecting to have fit for the start of the season?
Remember, my premise was they sell Gakpo to reclaim money because they've gone big on Rayan and Barcola. So I'm trying to be optimistic.
So they're getting both Rayan and Barcola?
Yeah, they go big on both of them. Then you've got Munoz and Rio that'll be the 2 young kind of like apprentices or whatever.
Yep.
And then that 5th choice guy needs to be a guy like Chiesa kind of where he's got the seniority and the mentality, but he won't moan about getting minimal minutes. Do you get what I mean? Because if you're relying on an Abe, for example, the talent is all there. But a 16-year-old, we've got a big game and an important match or, the games. You can't throw him in at the deep end like that. Wouldn't it be better to bring on Chiesa? Do you get what I mean? I'm just trying to look at the fact that there can be some
you would say that.
You
would say that, Drift, except our second best attacker last year was a 16, 17-year-old who we threw in the deep end. Because when you've got the talent and you've got that mentality, it's better.
He's even younger.
I'm not saying it has to be.
I'm not 15, bro.
I'm not. He was 16 when he played against Newcastle, but I'm not saying it has to be Josh Abe. I'm saying you could go out and buy an Ibrahim and buy. I'm saying you could find another guy.
Well, you think we're gonna get Rayan, Barcola, and then Mbaye as well?
Drift. I don't think you're getting Rayan. I don't know where this Rayan thing has come from. Even if you wanted Rayan this summer, he is 130 million at a minimum.
Facts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he's played 15 fucking games in the Premier League.
Yeah, all of that's crazy.
Boys, I'm gonna head off. Drift, big up yourself, Tom. I'll message you privately, man.
Big up, bro.
Big ups, Cal.
Big up to everyone.
I get where you're coming from, Tom. In terms of like future-proofing the club and all that. I get you in that regard. But do you understand at all what I mean about having some seniority coming off the bench where he's got the mental strength? Because if you've got that young player who's coming in, that's great. But sometimes I think it is like when Chiesa was coming off the bench at the beginning of the season, I remember everyone was kind of optimistic that maybe this year he could contribute. And then we know Slot just ruined everything. Come on, man. Slot ruined everything.
Chiesa had a good start to the season for the role he was in.
And I just want him to have that role under Iraola, bro. That's all I'm saying. If he was to stay, have that role under Iraola.
But he wouldn't have that role because Chiesa had that role last season because the attack wasn't deep. He didn't trust Engamoa at the start. So the reason Chiesa was playing was because he didn't play Engamoa. So he would start.
But he's on the right. He'd play on the right.
He played Rio on the right. He just chucked.
No, I mean this year, if we was to keep Chiesa, it would be for me. I'd do it for a cover for striker and right wing. We don't have any right wingers at the club, Tom. We have got no right wingers at the club.
But I just see them playing a Rio out there or a Munoz out there or a. The manager's been saying this.
Ahead of him, yeah. But then
the manager's been saying all this. But then he's talking about a 28-year-old and we're doing backup to the backup and backup to the backup. I just don't see the point in that. I'd rather the backup to the backup be someone who's got a long-term future at the club and who can move beyond being the backup to the backup.
Plus, it's less movement. You were somebody who agreed with me that too many ins and outs is a bad idea.
Too many ins and outs of players that play meaningful minutes, 100%. Federico Chiesa started one fucking game last season.
But he's still a senior head. He's still professional. He still knows how to deal with pressure. Would he still not be good to have around for that reason?
If he stays, he stays. I just don't see I don't see the real point behind it. I would rather just give it to a young lad who's got 5-10 years potentially at the football club than Chiesa, who, let's be honest, Drift, even if Chiesa stayed and played the part, he wouldn't get a new contract. So he'd be done when his contract's up. So you'd be having him be the 5th choice for a year or two, and that's it. I don't see the point in that. I would rather it just, unless Chiesa, if I watch pre-season and I see Chiesa look like the Chiesa from 2020, 2021, which is a massive fucking gift at this point, then sure, I'm on board with it. If I'm seeing the Chiesa that I've seen for the past 2 years, that he works hard, I'll never knock his work rate. He works hard. He wants to be there. He's got great effort, but he's too slow. He's too lethargic at points.
No, do you know what?
He's
That's
too off the boil.
He's quicker than Gakpo. Last season, he was recorded quicker than Gakpo. He's not as slow as you think he is, bro. I'm telling you, he's not as slow as you think he is. What was that game he played? What was that cup game he played last season? And he was actually good in the game. I can't remember what cup, but do you remember there was a cup game he played in last season? He was actually good in the game. Was it Southampton?
When he got 2 assists against Southampton.
Yeah. If he can just give us a couple cup performances like that, come off the bench for 15 minutes in some league games. Look, I said I would get rid of him if he was forcing me to pick players. But Tom, I'm just saying, if he does end up staying around, maybe Iraola can actually get a tune out of him. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't like we're still talking about a player who had supreme talent at the time when he was playing regular football. We're not talking about some guy where we're like, he wasn't even good back in the day. Why are we going to give this guy a chance? We are talking about a guy who had very high levels. So I'm just saying, maybe he could be valuable if we keep him around. The winger market ain't great at the moment, Tom.
Can people stop saying Federico Chiesa is the fastest player in training? It is a fake stat. It is a fake stat. It is from Anfield papers. It is fake. And I hear your point, Drift. If it happens, it happens. My thing is, what is the point in... I'm looking at it as a football club. You're cutting the wage bill. And you can talk about the wage bill on a different sort of degree in terms of where the Szoboszlai contract, he's going into the top earners. Gravenberch went to 280. Gakpo went to 250. So the wages, yes, we've cut Salah's wage, we've cut Canate's wage, we've cut Robbo's wage, all done. So we've saved a bunch there. That's getting reinvested into the playing squad that we've got now and into signings that we're going to make. So these guys, rather than bring them in on 120 grand, but with massive incentives, they're coming in on a higher base wage because it's better for the new financial ruling. What is the point in culling all these wages to try and readjust and rebuild the wage structure just to have a straggler like Chiesa whose role is to not start a single game? Because in your world, he would need 3 injuries or 3 players to not be available to start a single game.
No, not necessarily.
So
he could play some cup games. He can play games where, because remember, there's going to be injuries. Obviously, you don't want to jinx it, but let's say, God forbid, let's just use like maybe a 2-week injury to not go too far. So let's say, God forbid, Barcola stubs his toe, he's out for 2 weeks, and then at the same time, Rio comes down with a bout of the flu, and he's out for a week as well. And then for that game, we've only got Munoz and Rayan. Then Chiesa's actually the guy on the bench then that will play. And that can happen. We know Iraola does get a lot of injuries due to the intensity of the way he plays. And then in cup games, maybe you still need to rest a few of the guys who were, you know what I mean? And someone like Chiesa can play
genuinely
in the cup or whatever.
Genuinely, Drift, genuinely. If Liverpool... Which positions do you think Liverpool needs to sign if a starting level player? Like, forget like any sort of room or anything. Just you're doing a squad assessment now. Out of the starting 11 that we've got, which positions are you going? You really need to get a starter in there.
Right back, right wing.
You've nailed it. You nailed it on your first one. Right back. So you're saying there that the right back options we have probably aren't good enough
It's injuries mainly what I worry about, right?
Injuries, but also we watched Frimpong last year. It wasn't the greatest. Bradley, again, the injuries, and there's a bit of inconsistency there.
If we could get Robbo level consistency out of Bradley, I don't think right back would be a problem.
Mm-hmm. So what we've figured out there is that if we get the starting right back that you want, Bradley be the backup.
Yeah.
They're not selling Frimpong this summer, so where the fuck's he going to play?
Yeah, he probably would play right
on the wing.
But know for a fact that
then Chiesa,
we don't want that. We don't want Frimpong on the wing.
So then Chiesa goes down to sixth choice. There's also another guy that we haven't even mentioned who could still stay because Iraola's been speaking. So, he's been waxing lyrical about him. Harvey Elliott. Where would Harvey Elliott play? He'd be the backup 10, potentially. Szoboszlai and Verthe, he'd be the backup 10.
Yeah.
But he could all, Iraola, he had Tavernier at Bournemouth. He's played guys like Ryan Christie on the wing before. He's used guys that are wide 10s, if you get me. These inside 10s who start out wide and drift.
Yeah, but I'd hope not. I don't want Elliott on the wing.
I would rather Elliott on the wing than Chiesa at this point. I think
Would
it's...
So you've just proper given up on Chiesa then? There's just no...
I just think we've thrown away 2 years. He's never looked fit in the 2 years. And I understand that there's ulterior
training under Slot, bro. Slot made everyone look like they weren't fit.
Except Szoboszlai and Kerkez. Those fuckers could have run all day.
Well, Frimpong didn't look unfit, but he got bloody injured.
But you're playing... It's 2 years of nothing, Drift. I'm just not comfortable with that. Me personally, I'm not comfortable with that. If he stays, he stays. I think he's a great bloke. I think he's got a fucking great song. Give me some good moments last year with his goals, whatever. But I just don't see it happening. Not when there's other solutions in house that have more appeal. Frimpong, they're not going to sell him and he's homegrown.
What if we're forced to keep him because no one buys him? Because a lot of the time people forget.
There would
10 mil still a lot of money to like Italian clubs, as an example. Maybe they won't even want him.
100% he'd go to it. They were willing to pay for him in January. Let's not forget we stopped them going in January. Because
they might change They might change their plans now.
They might do, but I doubt it. I think if it come down to it, there'll be offers for Chiesa from Italy.
I'm surprised nothing's been done already. I know we're only back in training, but in the middle of July,
Chiesa wants to give it a go under Iraola. And again, I might be saying all this. Iraola might look at him in training and go, "Fuck me, you're boss, and you're starting for me," type thing, and then we're all fucking off on it. But I think Fabrizio said he wants to give it a go in pre-season. If in pre-season it's obvious that he's not in the plans, then he'll move at the back end of the window.
Yeah, and I'm all right with that. If he proves himself, he does. If he goes, he goes. You know what I mean?
The one who I don't think you'll be able to get a move for is Endo. That's the one who I don't think will move. I think Endo will stay. And whether that stops us from buying a midfielder or not,
that worries me in terms of
because Wataru Endo has absolutely zero reason to leave the Liverpool Football Club right now. He's injured,
yeah, I know.
So he's having a fractured pre-season anyway. He's at the biggest club he'll be at.
Is he actually injured now? Because he almost made the World Cup squad, so maybe he's fit now.
I mean, Iraola said he's not training with them. He's still recovering from that injury. So.
Okay.
He's at the
Do you
biggest
think
club
there's any
he'll
use
ever
for
be at.
Endo?
No, but I didn't think there was much use for him when we signed him, and he turned out to be all right. So maybe it's something that can work under Iraola. I've got a lot of time for Endo, but he's not going to go. He's injured. He's at the biggest club he'll ever be at, and his contract's up at the end of the season, so he can go at the end of the season and make more money if that was what he's after, and he gets the choice of where he goes then, rather than.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him personally. The only thing I'll say with Endo, he seems like the type of guy who doesn't mind hanging around, but probably wouldn't think about money if he was going if a good move came up. So I reckon he'd go and like have a better career than just faffing around not playing any minutes.
Is he not at that point in his career where he's had that career now? He's been the Japan captain. He's retired from international football now. He's played for Mainz for how many years? Or Stuttgart for how many years? Sorry. He's played for Liverpool now for 3 years. He's become a cult hero there. He's a legend at Stuttgart. I think at this point in his career, it's just about enjoying it. And for him, enjoyment might come from doing another season at Liverpool.
Yeah, you might be right. But he's also a model professional, so it kind of feels
it's
like
not it's not the worst thing in the world to keep. I just don't see why he'd move now when he can move next summer. He can recover at Liverpool this season. Who knows? He could potentially play this season because you know what? If he stays, he's not going to buy midfield, and we know what our midfield's like at points. So he could stay. He could play. Then he gets a move at the end of the season and go wherever he wants and make a decision that's completely his own. Then, so
what is he?
31
now,
31, 32-ish.
But because the thing is, if Chiesa and Endo don't go, I don't know where we get the space in the squad from like the foreign quota, because obviously we need homegrown players, and Chiesa and Endo would need to go for the foreign quota.
Well, right now for the foreign players, we've got 1, 2. Fuck, Jackie's 21. Shit, he needs to be registered now. 1, 2.
Jackie turned 21 now.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm not counting Ekatike because we don't know when he's back. Right now, you've got 15 with everyone registered. So you've got room for 2 more.
Is it 18? Oh,
17. So you got room for 2 more without any sales.
See, that's the issue. If Endo and Chiesa did leave, it would be perfect because then that's 4, which would be the wingers, the 2 wingers, the midfielder and the right back.
Drift, I think you need to accept that you're not getting 2 wingers this summer.
I'm trying not to accept it because it's going to make me crash out, Tom. Because if we need 2 right wingers as we stand, and if we only get 1 winger, then
I'll be honest. I would be very surprised if Liverpool made 3 more signings.
So would I, but I'm trying to stay positive.
I think that the plan is to keep as much of the squad together,
and I agree with that. But there are gaping areas in the
squad. And I think they will address those areas, but not to the degree that they'll buy a right winger or they'll buy a right-sided player, but they'll play Rio out there. They'll play Munoz.
So let's move on to that. That's a good segue. You don't believe the Rayan stuff, especially because of the price. But let's move to the winger situation then. Let's start with Barcola. Is there a part of you that believes that the Barcola stuff will happen or not?
I think it's the ball's entirely in PSG's court. If PSG are open to the move, regardless of what they say, you'll know if they're open to the move. If PSG are willing to sell, I think we're the favourites for them. I think Arsenal's focus is elsewhere. I think them getting that Tzolis, whatever his name is, that's their more traditional winger, and they want Rodgers to be that inside guy and let Calafiori bomb on. So I think that we've got the advantage on Barcola.
Do you think they'll get Rodgers?
I think they will do, yeah, because they're in a situation where they don't need to buy 5-6 players, so they can justify the spending on 1 or 2 big ones.
I mean, yeah, you're right. That will be dependent on how much Arteta panics with that Saliba news.
I don't think. I mean, you got to look at the defense. Let's say Saliba's out till midway through the season. They've still got. This is just players who can play centre back: Timber, White, Mosquera, Hincapié, and Calafiori.
Well, the rumours are that White is going, so that'll be another.
And they put a bid in for that. They're looking at getting Ezri Konsa. So they could get.
Oh, are they? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, then that would be the replacement then, or the cover then.
Let me.
So hold on. So Villa are going to be losing that many of their main players from last year. So Tielemans, Konsa, and Rod. That is for Villa. That is a big deal.
It's the finances, isn't it? They don't make much. They don't make as much thingy.
Yeah. No, I know, but they are 3 key starting players. That's a big deal, man.
They are, but this is why this is what Unai works with. This is what Unai knows how to work with. They lost Digne as well. Can't forget that one. So it's 4.
Oh, is Digne gone as well? Fuck,
yeah, he's
I
going
didn't
PSG.
even know that.
Going PSG.
Well, he's landed on his feet. Fucking hell.
But that's the situation they're in. So I think if Barcola becomes available, we're the favourites for him. And I think that he would be the only winger that the club sign.
Apart from Munoz.
Apart from, obviously, they got Munoz. He'd be the only other winger the club sign. And they would go into next season with...
Oh, yeah, Nana's ACL. Villa might be in trouble. Jesus.
Well, no, they got
They're
Joao
losing
Gomez,
all
haven't
these
they?
players.
They brought in Joao Gomez.
No, they did. Brilliant player. But I mean, if you lose Anana to an ACL and you lose Tillemans, who was key, Gomez coming in is good, yes, but obviously they're midfielder down still. Then Digne, they're starting left back. Konza, they're starting right back. Their best player last season arguably was Rodgers. Yeah, that's a tough one for Villa to recover from, man. I don't know how they do that, but if Emery keeps on pulling off these miracles, then solidifies him even more.
They're one of the favourites to sign. Well, they've asked about Somerville and Bargy from Barca, so they're after a winger there. So that'll be the replacement for...
Somerville would be a good move for them, actually. I think he'd do well at Villa.
They're replacing Digne with Estupiñán. From
I don't know what he's up to now. 2 years ago, he was
he's been at Milan for the past 2 years. Oh, is Somerville going Roma, is he? So they'll be after someone else. They're getting what's it called, Manzambi to replace Tielemans.
Okay, I don't know much about Manzambi.
He had a very good thingy, didn't he? Had a very good World Cup. They'll be all right. I think they're trying to get what's it called? Who is it? Joao Palhinha from Bayern.
Oh, from Bayern.
I'm trying to get him as well. So
that would be a good replacement for Onana until he's back. And Konza, what's the other guy in midfield who gets injured all the time for them?
Kamara,
yeah, he gets injured all the time.
So that's why they're pushing for Joao Gomez and
Palhinha.
Two of them.
Yeah.
So they'll be all right. They've got a really good manager, Emery, who knows how to handle these situations.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, so back to Barcola.
For us, I just think Barcola happens on the wing, and then they have Barcola, Gakpo, Munoz, Rio, and Frimpong, Elliott, Chiesa, whoever they decide the fifth choice will be.
Are you okay with that?
I kind of got to be, haven't I? I'd rather it was Elliott out of any of them, but if it's Elliott, I'm fine with it. If it's Elliott, I'm fine with it. Because I think it's something
play
different.
On the wing.
Yeah. Because I still think there's a world where Iraola goes for a wide 10, if you get me. So he plays a left winger, Wirtz, and then Szoboszlai or Elliott as the right winger, who just drifts inside and then leaves the right wing free for the right back. I think there's a world where that happens in some games. So if our wing depth next year is Barcola, Gakpo, Engamoe, Munoz, and Elliott, I'm relatively fine with that for this season, and then we can assess it again the next season once I know what the situation is with.
Let's take Elliott out of the equation just for a second.
Then it's Frimpong, and I've got to be okay with that because I'm not.
All right, let's even use Frimpong. Yeah, let's use Frimpong because I think he's more likely to play right wing than Elliott at this moment. Not one of them's left-footed. How do you feel about that?
Is what it is.
It doesn't worry you at all that we'd have 5 options and not one of them's left-footed.
I mean, one of the best front lines, one of the best front threes, or one of the most exciting front threes. I saw the Liverpool play. Didn't have a single left-footed in.
Yeah, but they were all world-class players. It's a little bit different.
I mean, was Mane world-class in 2016? Was Firmino world-class in 2016? Was Coutinho was probably the closest to being world-class in 2016.
I mean, obviously, I'm talking about the fact that they went on to be world-class, but the talent was still there, though, if you get what I mean. So they were still super players.
We're talking about here, Rio, Barcola, Wirtz, and Isak, all them either have the potential to be world-class or have been world-class at a point.
Yeah,
so
but then
it's a similar vote.
But then Munoz, Frimpong, like, then they're not.
Yeah, but then you can look at the backups there. Like, we had fucking Origi, the first choice backup that year. Sturridge, who was constantly injured. I know he was left-footed, but he was constantly injured. But then I'm sitting there going, Gakpo's a quality player, whether you like it or not. He's got 15 plus goals in the Premier League before. Munoz can be a quality player. All this stuff, I'm sitting there going, I can see the point in it. I can see the appeal behind it. Would I like to add a left footer at some point? 100%. I think it gives you a bit different dynamic, but it's not the be-all, end-all, because I don't think the winger's job is to come inside and score the goals, if you get me. Especially on the right. I think the job of the right winger is to stretch the game and create from out wide.
So
And
who
a
would
right
you
footer
play
can
there?
do that.
Barcola? Would Barcola be the one that
On
you
on the right, I'll be honest, on the right, the best option, if that's what we're going for, is Engamoa. He's the best option. He's the best winger, if you get me. I'm most comfortable with him standing out wide, beating a man, creating. My
Do you
worry
think it
is
would, because we've had a conversation about this, and I'm
you
not
then
even,
limit him.
I'm
You
not
then
even
limit his
opposed to
development
that.
potentially because he's not shooting much.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the only worry
do
you get with
think
it.
you're limiting his development? Is that a good idea when we're trying to develop him?
That's the worry you've got with it. So if you play him on the right, he could excel and become this really great right winger, but you're not developing the shooting side of this game potentially. You know that where he comes inside and whips it far corner, which he's quite good at. That's going to stagnate. He's not going to be able to do that as much. But I think what you'll end up getting is a lot of rotation. I think that Iraola, he spoke very candidly in his press conference about the need for rotation and the fact that he knows the way he plays is very taxing and he's going to need to use the squad. So even if I start Rio on the right for 1 or 2 games, he'll end up back on the left at points. He'll still play there. I think that it's going to be a very flexible front line for Liverpool this season. I don't think it's going to be a case of Rio plays on the right, Munoz plays on the right, Gakpo plays on the left, Barcola plays on the left, and they don't move from there. No, I think it'll be very fluid and flexible.
Let me ask you a question. I'm trying to think of all the negatives because that's just what we do in conversations, right? You think the worst case and then be surprised with a positive. God forbid we lose Isak for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
If we're relying on him to be the goal scorer and getting wingers who are more creative, which definitely makes sense to get the best out of Isak. God forbid he's missing for 2 months. Where the hell do the goals come from, Tom?
Gakpo.
Yeah, but if Gakpo's on the wing...
Gakpo would just play up front then and you'd have 3 wingers. You'd have Munoz, Rio and Barcola.
Do you think that Gakpo's goal scoring level would be good enough to actually replace... If the wingers aren't chipping in, and now
we say that. I'm saying it's not going to be the case of the way our wingers have for the past 10 years. I don't expect my wingers to be the chief goal scorers next season. I do still expect them to pop up with goals, but I don't expect them to be, you know, at the end of the season when you're looking at who was the top scorer, it was Salah, who was the second top scorer, it was Mane, or it was Diaz, or it was Gakpo. I think it'll be, who's the top scorer? Well, it's Isak, who's the second top scorer. Probably, Vert or Szoboszlai maybe. Then we're talking about the wingers getting in there. Barcola, Engamoa, Gakpo, they'll pop up then with the moments and with the goals, but they won't be the guys who the chances of being built around, if you get me. Liverpool built a system for 7 years that focused on the wingers getting the ball in the box to be the final, to make the final decision. That's not going to be the case now, so I expect the wingers' goal scoring numbers to drop a little bit. If we were to lose Isak for a number of months, I'm not fine with Gakpo because I do think I don't think he's the world's greatest striker, but I'm not going to lie and say he can't score goals.
No, yeah, he can score goals for sure.
If the entire setup is correct around him, then I think you can subsidise a fair amount of the goals. Now, the ideal thing would be if Isak's going to have to get a 2-month injury, get it right at the fucking end of the season when Ekitike's back. And
that's a lot of pressure on him coming back off that bad injury, though.
This is what it is, isn't it? I mean, it's a situation, and I just don't expect to see a load of transfers this summer. Maybe your overhaul will happen next summer when, the new director of football's in, the new head of football's in, the managers have a season to assess a squad. But this summer, I'm not expecting to see.
Do you think they could be using the January window as a way to maybe fix any problems that happen in the first 4 or 5 months? Because the new director of football will be in by then.
I'll be honest, Drift. I think this January transfer window might be one of the quietest you've ever seen. On the
We're quite
basis
quiet
of...
anyway, bro.
No, but I mean in general in football. Because the market's never been higher. And January is very rarely a buyer's market. Players always cost more in January. So if you add on the fucking tax that's there now of an extra 10 to 15 million, alongside the January tax of an extra 10 to 15 million, let's say worst case scenario, it's 30 million quid. If our right wing is not playing well, and we sit there and go, fuck, let's just go get Rayan from Bournemouth. It cost 130 million quid now. It'd be what, 160 in that case? 150, 160?
No, isn't there some rumour going around he has a cheaper buyout that kicks in January?
I thought it kicked in next summer. I thought it was every summer it goes down. So I know that his release clause is 130, then 100, then 85.
I think it might be January where
is
it
it
goes
January?
Down, and that's why everyone's thinking we might go from
January. I'll be honest, Drift, I'd need to see a lot from him in the season then, because I've not been moved by Rayan when I've watched them. I've not watched Rayan.
Worth all this money.
I've not watched Rayan and went, wow, he's blown me away there. That's a 100 million quid winger. He's got the world at his feet. I've not seen it. I know a lot of people do. I just don't see it. So I'm not comfortable spending that much money on him. Is his release clause not kicked in yet? Right.
Here is saying the release clause kicks in January, and it is 130. 130, yeah.
So you'll wait until January 2028.
Do you know what? Nobody's paying that.
It's not happening.
No, but are Bournemouth the type of club that can really, like, I know I don't like when players do it, but if Ryan's like, look, guys, I want to move, are Bournemouth a big enough club to be able to say no to like 80 or 90, which is still a huge amount of money?
Yeah. Yeah,
you think they can risk having an unhappy player and turning down that much? That's a lot of money for Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm. Drift, they've got no reason to sell.
No, but if the player doesn't want to be there anymore, sometimes it becomes untenable.
But I don't think Ryan's going to sit there and throw his toys out the pram in January.
But if a club like Liverpool are coming for him, you never know, He doesn't know if he'll ever get that opportunity again.
I mean, Drift, he's fucking 20. He will have that opportunity again. I think it's a very different case.
You never know, bro. Sometimes you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Sure, but even in that case, I think Bournemouth would rather sell in the summer. I don't see that move happening.
For example, Andre at Wolves. Remember how much hype there was around him 2 years ago? Look at his career now. He didn't get that big move. Bet on himself. Went Wolves. I rate it, but now he's just still at Wolves. Like Rayan might think I can't miss the opportunity to go to a big club, and he really might kick in. I don't agree with all that. I'm just saying that could be.
I'd be very shocked if that happened in January, and even then, I think that Bournemouth would probably just sit there and go, "No, you'll go when we say you go," type thing. Because Bournemouth have absolutely zero reason to sell him in January.
Remember, we don't know how they're going to actually respond without Iraola. They might be playing bad, having a really poor season. He might really kick up a stink. Because remember, a lot of people are basing this on the good Bournemouth that had Iraola and whatnot.
So
we don't know what Bournemouth
I'm not ruling out that he might ask to leave. I'm just saying he won't leave in January. Bournemouth have got so much money at the minute. Let's bear in mind they made how much off selling Zabani? They made fucking 50 off that.
60, I think, innit?
60 off Zabani, 50 off Huyson, 40 off Kirkes, 65 off Semenyo. Alex Scott's probably going to go. They're going to get fucking 80 odd for Alex Scott potentially because of the Mateus Fernandes deal. So we're talking about what? Nearly 300 million quid off 5 players. They're not desperate to sell. I know they're not. They were, and they've got Europa League this season. I don't think Rayan would leave at any point this season.
So what about this summer then? Let's talk about these rumours. Do you think it is just stupid rumours or like
him coming this summer?
Yeah.
That's fucking not happening. That's not happening. If his release clause hasn't kicked in, Bournemouth can set whatever price they want. And
but they've still got to be realistic if the player starts saying, look, I want out.
But Ryan's not going to throw his toys out the pram 6 months after joining. That wouldn't be smart.
Because you know what, but I'll be honest with you. If I'm Rayan,
no one would pay it.
No one
would pay it though. So it's catch-22, isn't it? Isak threw a fit and threw a fuss. You would have paid that for Isak, though. When they were saying 120, 130, 140, you would have paid that for Isak. He was the best striker in the Premier League that season. He was in his prime. You'd had 3 years of seeing him perform at the Premier League level. It was a safe investment. You had to worry about the injuries, but if you're sitting there going, they want to spend 120 million quid on him, is he worth that as a player? You'd probably go, yeah, I think he is. If I sat there now and went, but listen, Drift, Liverpool are trying to get Rayan in through the door. He's going to cost 150 million quid right now. They're open to doing it. Have you seen enough from him?
No way.
He has played 15 games this season.
Yeah,
15. If he cost, should we do the math right now? I don't need to do it yet. If he was 150 million quid, it'd be 10 million quid per game played.
No, but what if Liverpool were like, right, Bournemouth, we want to be serious. And again, I know the market is crazy inflated, but if they said 80 mil, 60 of it up front, maybe some add-ons, whatever, and Rayan was like, I want the move, and he started to be a bit of a dick about it, which I don't agree with again, but he started to be a bit of a dick about it. Yeah, there's all this hype and talk of what 80 million for a player who's only played 15 games. It's still great value. Bournemouth will still be the ones laughing in that scenario to get 80 mil.
I think they'd hold out for more.
Maybe they would, but I don't think
they've seen us. The thing is as well, Drift. We've shown our hand this summer.
No, but if we buy Barcola, then people can't say, they got all this money, but when that money's gone, we spent it. Remember, this is a separate deal for Rayan.
They'll base it on that Diamande offer, though. Even if we bought Barcola, they'll base it on that Diamande offer. We showed our hand this summer for what we'll pay for a winger. We'll pay 100 million quid for a winger. So
if we do that with Barcola, then when obviously they're not going to think, they can just keep spending.
No, but then they're not going to sit there and go, well, you bought Barcola, so we'll give you the mate raise because we know you probably haven't got that money.
80 mil is not a mate rate, bro. 80 mil, we would just say he's played 15 games. 80 mil is astronomical money for a 15.
Drift. If they can get right, so let's say Rayan, we offered 80 million quid this season, and Bournemouth turn it down, and Rayan goes, but I really want that move, and Bournemouth convince him, go, give us 1 year, play Europa League, play week in, week out, in the Premier League, in the Europa League. You're who we're building this attack around now that Semenyo's gone. You're the future. Give us 1 more year. Rayan gives them that 1 more year. He takes this jump that everyone says he's going to take. Do you think then you get to the summer of 2027 and that 130 million quid release clause is active? A team is paying that. It's about holding the nerve.
I don't know. 130.
If he has a good season, there will be a team that pays that 130 mil. Provided the market crash.
The season it'd have to have, Tom, the type of season it'd have to be worth 130 million would have to be like a Kvaratskhelia level season. He ain't having that. No matter how good he is, he's never going to get that good.
Or it would just have to be an Elliot Anderson season because he went for that.
Yeah, but I think that's the right place, right time. Man City need that type of player, and they're just thinking, fuck it.
Who's
9 times out of 10, Elliot Anderson doesn't go for that money.
Who's not to say that doesn't happen next season? We might still be looking for a right winger. We need one. We haven't been able to find one. Who else? Bayern might sell Elise. They need a right winger. They've lost Elise.
Yeah, maybe
cash Bayern in the pocket. Maybe it's Real Madrid. They sit there and go, we tried to get Elise, we couldn't get him in. Who do we get on the right to link up with everyone? We're potentially moving.
Looks like Elise's going there this summer.
But there's situations, there's cases. The only teams that I'm looking at going, they definitely wouldn't bite is probably Arsenal with Saka and Barca with Yamal.
I don't think Man U will pay that money for anyone anymore. I think they're calming down a bit on their.
They've got Mbuemo as well, haven't they? But the rest of them, I could see a world where they go, fuck it, let's get in there and grab him. And they pay that money if he has a really good season.
130 mil, though.
I just need to check. How old is he? Is he 19 still?
Yeah, I think so.
How old was he when he joined?
He's probably still 19, isn't it?
He's 19. He turns 20 in a month's time. I don't know if he qualifies. He might end up qualifying as homegrown as well, low drift.
No, I think you've got to play for 3 years to be.
But it'd be last season, this season, next season.
No, but it's only from January, so it's only 6 months.
I don't know if it counts as. I don't know. I can't remember if they do it as from the point you joined or from the season you joined. I can't remember what point it is.
Yeah, it still might be tough to get him to qualify as homegrown, though.
Potentially, but there's a world where that can happen, and then his price goes up even more.
I don't know, man. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think he's worth the money.
But Lakers, it's 3 years before 21, not 3 years before 18. It's 3 years before 21. So Leone's going to qualify as homegrown for us if he stays for 3 years. Bajcetic is homegrown for us.
I think what Lakers is saying is when you have the academy homegrown. I think if you're 3 years before 18, you can be academy homegrown.
No, there's no academy homegrown, or it's just it's homegrown in nation.
No, you know that Europe rule where they have to be from the academy, isn't it? If they play for you for 3 years under 18, they can qualify as academy homegrown. Because remember in Europe, you got to have 4 academy homegrown and 4 just homegrown.
It's not academy homegrown. Technically, it's not academy homegrown. It ends up being academy homegrown because the majority of the players play through there. But you could, in theory, sign a 16-year-old, play him in the first team for 2 years, and he qualifies as homegrown at club. So the UEFA rules are different. It's the fucking.
I know UEFA is a little bit of a different rule to the Premier League, anyway.
It's 2 years, 2 consecutive years. That's why Engamo qualifies now. So Engamo doesn't have to be registered in the Champions League this season.
He doesn't have to be registered. I thought you have to register everybody in Europe.
No. He can get registered in the B squad. So he's not part of the one that takes away players. So you have a UEFA A squad, which is where your senior players go. And your UEFA B squad, which is where your under-21s go. Engamo couldn't qualify for the B list last year because he hadn't been at Liverpool long enough. He'd only been at Liverpool for 2 years. Because it's now his 3rd year, he gets... He's technically
I know the Europe rules.
So we get that because do you remember at the start of last season when they did the Champions League registration, Chiesa didn't originally get registered because they included Engamo. Now you could in theory register Chiesa.
Okay.
But I don't see it with Rayan personally. A lot of people do. I don't. I'd have massive reservations about paying the amount of money they're saying for Rayan. Massive reservations.
No, I agree with you on that. I just think that we might be living in a world where we're getting too carried away with thinking that every club just thinks that they have to get this amount of money, rare, and maybe Bournemouth will still be like, well, we paid 30 mil for him. If we get 70 or 80 for him, that's great profit. Fuck it, let's just do it.
Not this. We've just seen Tonali go for 100 mil. Relegated West Ham get 85 for Mateus Fernandes. Elliot Anderson went for 116.
But we're still seeing some modest ones. Like, whether you think he's great or not, only 38 mil for Gomez is very modest in this crazy market that we've got going on at the moment. Like, maybe there are still some players that everything isn't going to be crazy around.
That's the relegation tax, though, isn't it? That's why the West Ham one shot.
No, but West Ham got relegated.
But West Ham had how many years of money behind them? They had European money behind them. Wolves were in financial trouble. Wolves aren't really all that well.
But then wouldn't they be trying to get more out of the player then? If they're in trouble, wouldn't they be trying their best to get more money for their player?
You could argue that, but they already had one move fall through for them. It's a case of you just need to get them done, don't you? He was supposed to go to Atleti, if you remember correctly, and then they pivoted to get.
I don't know what stopped them going to Atletico actually.
They changed target. He went to Hajulman from Sporting. So that was a deal for 50. They ended up getting 45 for
what if there's a player out there, because with McAllister, for example, where no one realised there was a release clause. Tielemans, I don't think anybody realised he had a release clause until Man United just bought him.
Maybe there is drift, maybe there isn't, and then we can sit there.
Yeah, maybe there's some players that we don't even realise have got release clauses.
The problem is, drift. You said we don't realise, so we don't know. We can't sit there and go, we'll just bank on them.
No, but I'm just hoping Liverpool can figure this out, and maybe we get like a good deal, and we're like, how the fuck did we do that?
I hope so. I hope so, but I can't hedge my bets on it, can I? I just gotta worst case.
How on earth did Villa keep that under wrap? When you actually think about it, how the fuck did they keep that Tielemans release clause under wrap for 3 years?
I mean, maybe teams just weren't looking at him. That's also
he's been playing well the majority of the time he's there. I'm surprised it took this long for someone to buy him.
He has done, but it's also the state of the market, isn't it? Villa have been a good club. It's not like you'd want to leave Villa for any Tom, Dick and Harry.
They have been good, yeah. They have been
so
good.
You're looking at the clubs that he would go to. It's probably one of the big ones in England. We wouldn't buy him because he's not in our age range. Arsenal wouldn't buy him because they've got their guys already. City wouldn't buy him because they've got their guys already. Chelsea wouldn't buy him because he's not in their age range.
I could see him playing for City, you know, because he's a very good passer. I could see him playing.
He could have done, but you're looking at... So we're talking about the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, Man City have had Rodri, Bernardo, Gundogan, Foden, Cherky all playing there. I don't think he fits that mould. You look at the ones that can't get games.
Could have replaced Kovacic.
But they've got Kovacic. I think they're just comfortable with having Kovacic in the role he's in. If they were desperate to replace him, then sure. But I don't think they were desperate to replace Kovacic.
Is he leaving City this year, Kovacic?
No, I think he's staying. I think he's staying again.
Okay.
Like he's just comfortable in his role and he plays it well. So I just don't think there's been the clubs out there shopping for him. Now, Man United, they've lost Casemiro, Ugarte's out. They need a progressive passion there. He makes sense for them. It's probably the first time one has made sense for them.
I think so far their summer's been good. I think him and Thingy are two good signings for them. I don't like the idea of Man United making sensible signings.
The United window has been very, very good. Got to give him credit.
But look, that Savinho deal. Can you believe Tottenham are going to pay £70 million for Savinho? I think Tottenham have been brilliant. I think this window has been so good for them. Fernandes was an overpay, but they needed him. Tonali, brilliant player.
Tonali's also an overplay. Tonali's also an overpay, by the way.
I don't know, you know. Tonali, at 25, 26 years old, Tonali's a baller, Tom. In this market, I don't think that's an overpay, you know.
Tonali's not 100 million quid midfielder to me. I think he's good. He's not 100 million quid midfielder.
He's better than Elliot Anderson, bro.
I don't think Elliot Anderson's a 100.
No, but what I mean is, like, if you're looking at the market, I
think this has been a window of overpays. I don't think many teams have got good deals.
No, I don't think there's apart from Villa and Man United with Tielemans and Gomez.
In fact, let's have a look at the transfers worldwide for this season.
So, would you have been disappointed if Liverpool bought Tonali for 100 mil? Would you have been that pissed off about it?
I would have had to hang up about the price, yeah. I don't think he's a 100 million quid player.
I think he's easily an 80 million pound player. Tonali is a top player. Easily he's worth 80. I don't think 100 is like a gross overpay. It's an overpay, but it's not a gross overpay.
So the top 10 most expensive, in fact, we'll do 15. Top 15 most expensive transfers far this season.
Newcastle paid 64 Tonali, didn't they? So it's not even like he was cheap when they bought him.
Elliot Anderson for 116, overpay. Sandro Tonali for 100, overpay. Mateus Fernandes for 85, overpay. Anthony Gordon for 70, overpay. Gonzalo Ramos for like 65, overpay. Jacquet for 65, probably a bit of an overpay if we're all things considered. Van Hecke for 52 in the last year of his contract. That's an overpay.
Yeah, that's an overpay. Yeah.
Palestra for 55 million. Again, it's like the Jacquet one. It could age well, but at the minute I'm going, it's a bit much, but it could age well. Andre Santos for 52 million quid. That's probably one of the more reasonable ones.
Yeah, I don't think that's an overpay, no.
Mark Cucurella for 55 million. Probably one of the more reasonable ones.
I think that's an underpay. I think in this market, they've got a great price on Cucurella. Yeah, that's an underpay, to be honest.
Vuskovic for 50 million. I think that's a great deal. And I'm gutted we weren't there. Saibari for 50 mil. Nathaniel Brown for 50 mil. Quende for 50 mil. Basumana Torre for 45 mil. Bayern.
Oh, okay.
Basumana Torre to Newcastle for 45. Hoylands and Napoli for 40.
That's an overpay, I reckon, for Newcastle.
Potentially. I just look at that. I think there's been a lot of overpays this summer. I think it's a very overinflated market.
It's an inflated market, man. It's an inflated market.
So I'm a bit sort of I don't know about that.
So we're at Savinho to that 70 mil for Sevilla. I don't even know what they see in him, if I'm being honest.
So, statistically, he's like the perfect winger if you just don't want any goal contributions.
Yeah, no, but that's the whole point. Doesn't De Zerbi like his wingers to score goals?
I think De Zerbi just likes goals. I don't necessarily think he cares where they come from.
He's skillful, he's quick, but his decision making is fucking
the one thing that shocked me, I didn't realise Savio got like 15 assists in his first season at City.
Did he?
Yeah, he got like 10, 15 assists in his first season at City.
Right,
he only got one goal,
crazy.
but he got loads of assists that I didn't realise he got. So maybe that's what they're looking for in that case. They want someone who is creative out wide.
The thing is, when people are saying he's creative, I think his decision making is so bad. I don't really even agree. Like it's like he doesn't know what to do. He can't make his mind up. And if you can't make your mind up playing for City, how the hell are you going to make your mind up playing for Tottenham?
You know what else I'd say has crap decision making? Doku.
Not anymore.
I think Doku has worse decision making than Savio. I think Doku's natural skill set allows him to be more of a threat consistently. I think Doku still makes poor decisions.
Nah, not anymore. 2 years ago, I'd have agreed with you. Maybe even last year. But this season just gone, he's matured a lot. He definitely is way better now. With
I think he found some goal scoring boots from the season, but I wouldn't say his decision making is suddenly tip top. There's still so many games where he plays where you're going, why have you done that? Why have you done that?
70 mil for
it's going to sound mad. It's going to sound mad, this drift. I look at the wingers in the Premier League right now, and they're on a decision-making basis. There's not many better than Rio and Gamor.
Well, that is a bold statement for a guy.
There's not many better than Engamoa.
What I will say to back you up in terms of giving Rio his credit, I am so happy that he is a Liverpool player and not a Bournemouth player, as an example. And we're looking at this kid thinking, fucking hell, we've got to go and pay 100 mil for this kid. Mm-hmm. Because if Rio played for one of these lesser teams, he would be probably the most sought-after winger in this summer's market. Can you imagine how much we'd have to pay for Rio?
Mate, with the English tax and the fact he'd be homegrown, oh, my God.
Right, you can just imagine how much we'd have to pay for him.
Unreal.
It would be crazy. It would be madness. It would actually be madness.
Rio for me, his decision making is tip top. There's not many times I've watched Rio this season where I've gone, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that.
Very limited minutes to go against, though.
I mean, how many minutes did he play last season?
I think he played 700, or something like that.
And then again, we watched him play for England as well, didn't we? In that friendly. Where, again, he won man of the match. His decision-making was spot on. He played 1,065 minutes last season.
Did he get up to 1,000?
Yeah.
No, but that's all. Is that all comps? Or because I'm thinking in the league.
All comps.
How many played in the league? About 600-700 in the league.
In the league, it was 550. Champions League.
I knew it was something around there, yeah.
Champions League was 63. FA Cup was 177. League Cup was 161. And obviously, we got knocked out of them pretty early, didn't we? So it wasn't like he was getting loads.
I knew it was somewhere like 600-700 in the league. Yeah, 500. Yeah, it's not a great sample size, but you're right. It's not like when he plays, you think to yourself. The only thing that I've been a little bit disappointed with Rio in, but maybe it's just nerves, is that I don't feel like he was taking on the fullback the way we know he can. It might have been instructions. It could have been a bit of nerves, but like we know he can just rip fullbacks. And I always used to feel like he'd wait, let everyone get back.
There's a byproduct of that, don't drift, isn't there? There's a byproduct of that where if you're a winger, I don't know where you played when you play football, but if you're a winger,
I was a striker, yeah.
So you'd know this when you're a striker and you're watching your winger out wide, you're sitting there going, "I'm gonna run. I'm gonna make me run soon. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna try and arrive where he's gonna put that ball in." And Rio or the winger be thinking, when I beat this guy, if I beat this man and put it in there, I've got to hope that he's making the run for it. That typically requires a striker that you got a connection with. So an Ekatike or an Isak. Who was playing up front for the majority of the games that Rio started last season?
I don't know who it would have been. Who would it have been?
Gakpo.
Was it Gakpo when Rio was playing?
So Rio started last season. He started Tottenham at home. Gakpo started.
Would it have not been Ekitike, bro?
I'm talking about the starts. So I've got all the start. Rio started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in the Premier League last season. Tottenham at home. Gakpo was the starting striker. Fulham at home. Gakpo was the starting striker. Chelsea at home. Gakpo was the starting striker. Villa away. Gakpo was the starting striker. Brentford at home. Gakpo was the starting striker.
How did he play that many games with Gakpo? That's fucking mental.
Even if we go to the Cup, Barnsley started the game against Barnsley. Gakpo was the starting striker. Started the game away at Wolves, 1-3-1. Should we go find out who the striker was that game?
The only thing I would say, even though you've got a point,
it was Gakpo. What other games did he start?
So
Southampton
he didn't play
in
with
the Cup.
Ekitike when he started any games.
Southampton in the Cup. You know who started that game? Isak. Crystal Palace in Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Who started from that game? Chiesa. He played more. He started more games with Chiesa up front than he did Ekitike. He didn't start a single game last season with Ekitike up front. So this is my point. And he only started one with Isak, and that was when he was massively unfit. So when Rio is a winger and he's beating his man, getting to the byline or getting in a position to create from out wide, and he looks up into the box and there's no one there. Gakpo, he's not there.
But on his
the right,
profile, Tom, would you not say, if I said there was 2 boxes to put a winger in, which would be a creative winger or a goal-scoring winger, would you not say that he would be leaning more towards the goal-scoring side than the creative side because of the profile? Because he's so good at taking players on and getting past players, that then presents opportunities for you to always be on one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
I think Rio Ngamoa is the ideal mix of both. He's one of the more complete wingers. So typically, I think of wingers like this. Are you going to go inside or are you going to go outside? When you're sizing up your fullback, regardless of what foot you are you going to go inside and take it towards goal, which typically means you're going to shoot, or are you able to go outside, take it towards the byline, and create out wide, put a cross in?
I agree with that. Yeah,
you can look at all the wingers Liverpool have. Cody Gakpo is an inside winger. If Gakpo gets the ball, it's like the fucking blind just go up on his left hand side. He can't see that way. Yeah. He is going inside. Mohamed Salah started out as an inside winger, became a complete winger, was a lot more comfortable in the latter stages, creating out wide. Who else have we had out there? Luis Diaz was a complete winger. Sadio Mane was a complete winger.
But again, those are complete wingers, Tom. But you would expect them to take, if it's a 1-on-1, you want them to go past them and score, though. That's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like, forget where the striker is. Take the man on and go. You're
considering the situations that are in there. So when we talk about Mane and Salah, they were doing that because they were the team's chief goal scorers. If they took it round their man and put a cross in the box, unless Firmino had made a run from deep to get in there because he dropped in to create the space, there wasn't really anyone in there.
Well, or they'd pass to each other, wouldn't they? A lot of the time it would be Salah at the back post or Mane at the back post.
So it wasn't like it was a case of, if I put it in there, my chief goal scorers there. Both of them believed they were the best goal scorer that the club had. So that was the mentality. With Ngamoa, I think it's going to be a case of he can size his man up and he can go, I've got Isak in there, I've got Ekitike in there, let me create for them. Because you've got to bear in mind last year, I don't think he ended up getting an assist last year. He got one against Chelsea for the Gravenberch, but that wasn't an assist, if you get me. That was, he just passed it to Gravenberch.
He should have had a few. He put some good crosses
in there. Burnley away, inch perfect ball to the back post. Who was unmarked? Frimpong. Not who you want the chance falling to. What else was there? Nottingham Forest away when he played on the right. Beat his man, took it round the outside, dinked it in. Ekitike missed it. And then it got cleared off McAllister and went in, and it was ruled out for handball. But Ekitike should have scored that header. If everyone remembers it, it was fucking so clear.
He should have,
Fulham, the one that he scored in. The Salah goal. passes it to Salah, and Gakpo takes it off Salah's feet and passes it to Salah. It was going to go to Salah. and Salah would have took a touch and scored potentially. That's another one. So I'm looking at situations like that, and I'm going, he had his opportunities. He had his moments where he probably should have got some assists. And you're looking at going, he can create, he can be that guy. So I'm not worried on that front. The one I need to see more of is Munoz. I need to watch Munoz more so I can figure out what type of profile he is. Because from what I've seen, he's a guy that can do both as well. And I think that's the way Liverpool want to go with it. Barcola can do both. Barcola can go on the outside or he can go on the inside. Barcola can play on the right if needs be. He played on the right at Lyon. That's the profile everyone wants from the winger, I reckon.
If I asked you, because I'm going to wrap up the show now, get the supers done. But if I asked you about Munoz, right? Pre-season, I think is going to be really important with regards to him being a new signing, settling, etc., etc.
How much pre-season is he going to have?
All the way, because he's gone all the way in the World Cup. Even though he didn't play, he's obviously been training. How much of a rest do you give Munoz?
Ooh.
When do you bring him back in for pre-season? And he got an injury during the World Cup, remember?
You need to play it by ear with him, don't you? You need to ask him and let's see what he's saying about his situation. But I'd want to get him back involved as soon as possible. And I think that if I was in his position, if I was, in his bows, I'd be desperate to get back and make an impression, especially whilst the winger situation is so uncertain at the football club. If he comes back, kind of saying it's actually a club rule that they have to have 3 weeks. Potentially, but if he jumps the gun and goes, I didn't play at the World Cup. I've had a bit of a, I've recovered a bit.
Oh, it's FA rules. Lakers saying that they have.
Is it FA rules? Is it FA rules? I can't remember.
Do you know what? That wouldn't surprise me because like slave labor and all that. Yeah, there must be some rule of like a player has to be given a break. There must be in it. There must be some kind of rule. I've never thought about it before, but there has to be some kind of rule because you can't just make a player not get time off. It's like it's still work. Remember?
Yeah, but I think the player should get to pick. A mandatory minimum of 21 days.
A couple people in the chat are saying that is a FIFA rule. But yeah, so if it's a 3-week rule from this weekend, then that would mean that he would be back in the second week of August.
The season starts in the third week.
Yeah, the season starts in the third week, so he's not going to get much pre-season. Because I was just thinking yesterday, like, when are we actually going to get Munoz back in with them going so far in the tournament? That's the only bitch with him being Spanish. Like, it would have been great if he played for a team that had gone out 2 weeks ago, say he was almost ready to come back. But yeah, it will be interesting.
I'm trying to read through this because the one I'm seeing is from like 2019. They should have a rest period or holiday. It came in recently. They won a battle with FIFA. 72-hour minimum gap between games and a 3-week period, the rest in the closed season.
It does make sense. 3 weeks off is... Because when you think about how grueling a season is, 3 weeks don't even feel like long enough to me, to be honest.
Has it come into effect, though?
Ideally, you would think a player would want a whole 6 weeks off after a grueling season.
I mean, I personally think it should just be up to the players. Personally.
No, because you might have someone who's just really enthusiastic, but then ruins their career by damaging themselves by not resting enough.
No, but if a player says, I want to do it, and the club can go, no, you need your break, you need to take your holiday. But if the club are going, you didn't play much, when did
like a Chiesa scenario where he barely...
when did the La Liga season end?
I don't know, maybe
because
similar time.
Did their season end before ours?
It's probably within a week span.
No,
it's normally
it was the same sort of time.
Yeah, it's normally within a week, innit? All the leagues.
Because I don't know whether him, what's it called? Him being...
So big up Lakers. Lakers is saying that it would be July the 20th for Wirtz, 21st for Van Dijk, Gakpo, Gravenberch, Isak, 25th for Alisson, and McAllister and Munoz is the 9th of August.
Well,
which makes sense, but based on the 3-week rule.
I personally think it's a bit unfortunate for Munoz, because Munoz wasn't even in the squad to end the season for Osasuna, you know. In the last month, in the entirety of May, he played 190 minutes.
He would have been training with Spain, though, remember, so he's not getting rest. I know he wasn't playing, but he would have been training.
He would have been training. I'm not saying he shouldn't get a break, but I'm saying that he shouldn't be forced to do 3 weeks if he's ready to come back after 2.
Well, based on the rules, 9th of August, he's not going to get much pre-season, is he?
That's the worry, isn't it? So he'll be annoyed at that, because this would have been a real opportunity. Whilst there's a lack of wingers in the club, if he makes a really good first impression, he potentially gets himself a starting spot for the start of the season, doesn't he? Essentially plays himself into the squad.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I just thought I would just ask how you felt about that, because I did see it earlier on. But right, let's get these supers done. Big up LFCJ, 49, you legend, bro. Big up your damn self, brother. Says, were we ever even linked to Bowen, or was it just a fan target? I think it was a lot of cow prop. All jokes aside, I do think it was just a lot of cow prop. I don't actually think I legit saw any real links.
We were linked like once.
Oh yeah. I don't remember at all, man. I really don't. But
if you only listen to Callum Sanderson, you would think that Fabrizio, Ornstein, Iraola, they all said we need Bowen as the top target.
Big up LB. So City getting 65 to 70 million for Savio is insane. No, it is. Considering he barely did anything while he was there as well, it's crazy. It really is. Big up Golda. Says, Mandem, how shit are the standards at the World Cup? Maka struggled in the Premier League and now he's looking boss at the World Cup. Yeah, the Premier League is the best at football. Liverpool better sell Mac quick before his price drops again before the next game.
I'm someone who sits there with McAllister and goes, how much of last season was down to the fact that he had very little pre-season because he was injured, and then Slot's training setup never allowed him to play catch up on the fitness, so he was always behind, wasn't he?
And then obviously the fact that he hasn't had a break now for 4 years because he's played literally every summer, so he hasn't had, and he was hung out to dry by the system.
Plus, there's also a case we made of one of McAllister's best attributes is his box crashing.
Yeah,
we didn't use that at all last season.
Nope.
You look at him. You look at him in this World Cup. What's been his biggest threat? Where's he looked great? Go to the England game.
Do you know what I've noticed has been good about him at this World Cup, Tom? His link-up play with the triangles. He's been doing very good triangle link-up play.
Yeah, because the structure's better. The structure's better.
No, but because when people are like, oh, it's a myth McAllister's a good passer. Like, yeah, he doesn't have like a 50-yard ranger on him. But when it comes to those breaking lines, 20, 25-yard passing, he's very good at that. That was one of the main reasons I think Liverpool bought him. I think people have forgotten he's good at doing that because of how crap we were last year. So
McAllister's got credit in the bank with me. I'm going to give him another go.
I'm not mad if he stays, but if he goes, then it is what it is kind of thing. I'm at that point now with McAllister. Golda also goes on to say, I'm glad Liverpool are seeing the back of Hughes after the departures of Slot and Edwards. These three were supposed to bring Liverpool to the Empire days without Klopp. The wreckage left behind is actually felt by the academy along with the scouts and the English players. Do you agree with that, Tom?
I'd say the one area of the club that's massively benefited from Hughes and Edwards, maybe less of Slot, but Hughes and Edwards, is the academy. They've brought in some of the elite staff in world football to run that academy now. And they're bringing in top... I mean, I don't know if you watched the inside training from yesterday, You know that Austrian centre back that we signed. Fuck me, how much of a unit does he look? He's like 6'5", 6'6" at 19. He's a fucking monster. So like that's where I'd say the academy's been the ones that have benefited the most. It's the first team.
I agree with Golder that Slot would have wrecked the development during his time because he didn't want to use any of them.
I mean, I've got to give credit to Slot where it's due. As much as we sit there and wanted Rio to play more last season, he was pretty spot on with how he used him to prevent injuries. The last thing I wanted was another Bajcetic.
Yeah. I do think you could have used them a bit more, though. I think he went too far on the not playing. But I agree with you that he shouldn't have just rinsed him and then he got an injury and then it would have been. So, yeah. But I agree to an extent with what you're saying. I don't think it was the worst thing. But there were a few games and it was like, no, you could have played Rio today. Like, I don't know why you didn't play him in this one. The obsession with Gakpo went too far for Slot. Do you know what I mean? Big up Jacket says, Tom, that was a great opening dialogue on the evolution of the cow curse. Those L's couldn't have happened to a better geezer. Right, that's a little bit harsh, bro. Fuck you, no.
I'm just saying.
I know you're joking, Jacket. I know you're joking, bro.
Have you ever seen a curse that's went from just if I mention a player, they'll get injured, so we can't sign them. So if I mention a player, they'll be caught on a criminal case about so we can't sign them.
That's crazy.
Or
that's actually crazy.
If I mention a player who's just been relegated from the Premier League, they would choose to instead sign a new contract with the relegated club rather than join us. It's like an evolution. It's gone to the next level. It had a year off last year with Isak and Wirtz. It's now come back.
Tom, I definitely feel like Cal did some kind of hoodoo on me to get his way last season with the transfers because everyone I want now goes to rivals. And we was talking about the other day. Yes, all runs come to an end, but I had a streak of about 5 or 6 years where everyone I wanted, we were getting. And I know that makes me sound spoiled, but now all of a sudden, everyone I like goes to Arsenal or Man United or a rival. And I'm like, hold on. How did my luck turn around this crazy? Like, what the fuck's going on here? And then Cal gets everyone he wants. I'm like, did Cal sacrifice me or something in some kind of ritual? Like, what the hell's going on here?
But now you're both. You sold the soul to the devil for last summer, and now look, the no one gets what they want now. We get no one.
Do you know what I mean?
We get no one. No one gets anyone. We get Munoz. We get Munoz and Xhaka, and you have to be happy with it because Cal did what he did last summer. Cal ruined all of us just so we could get Wirtz and Isak, and now look what's happened.
Crazy work. I'm gonna need Cal to undo that curse, man. I need to start getting back the players that I want, man. Fuck yeah, no. Big up Frankie. Says Tom is just jealous he can't run. Chiesa will stay to race other players in training. Rio needs to get his speed up, so let the Italian run for his wages. Don't bite, Tom. Don't bite. LB. City could replace Savio with Barcola. Watch out. I don't even want to remotely think that they'll.
I think they'd be in the market for him by rather than Barcola. Barcola's going to want a lot of minutes. Barcola's leaving PSG because he's not starting in the big games.
Yeah.
Barcola. City have probably the best wing depth in the league.
Yeah, Shirky, Semenyo, Doku. Yeah, for real.
Marmoush can play out there as well.
I think they'll sell Marmoush this summer, you know.
I don't think Marmoush I think he might go next summer, not this summer.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like maybe even a Bayern Munich or someone take a chance on Marmoush. I don't know. He seems like his time might be up. Maybe you're right. Maybe Maresca will give him a year, but I don't know. We'll see. Big up Cop Tribune. Big up Josh. Says big up boys. Big up yourself, G. Guys, make sure you go and subscribe to the Cop Tribune as well, man. Big up Josh, a.k.a. Matt's Hairline, one of the new legends of streaming. Obviously, you lot know he's a chat legend. Big up Mantis. Says, big up Drift. Can you believe these dickhead owners didn't even try for Gomez, bro? Nah, bro, I know. I'm livid over it. I'm livid. He's going to be an £80 million player next season. I am pissed off. And the fact that he's gone to Villa means he'll probably be there for a while because they are a good club, unless they dramatically fall off or something. Like,
so, I mean, we said we did the full 30-minute segment on how I don't see it with Rayan. I also don't see it with Gomez.
You don't think he's a good player?
I don't think he's good enough for us now.
I think he's wicked, man. I think he's going to take that step up around better players now. I'm not saying he's world class or anything like that, but now he's around better players. I think he's going to really prove that he's a good.
Maybe I haven't seen it yet, and I just think that his skill set's a little bit too limited for.
One thing I will say about the Villa move, he's gone to the perfect manager to develop him. Like that's what Emery does. Emery gets those players people don't realize are good and turns them into good players. So he has gone to the perfect place for development. So yeah, we will see. We will see. But yeah, people, we've come to the end of the show. Appreciate you all. Hope you enjoyed. Big up yourselves. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're watching on X as well, give us a retweet, please, guys. Big up everyone. I know this is a silly question based on the fact that you say no every time. But Tom, have you got any streams or anything coming up that the people can look forward to?
No.
Do you know, for a second, I actually thought you was about to say, do you know what, Drift? Actually, this week,
I'm you wouldn't get anything from me today. Anyway, I'm going out to go watch that.
Oh yeah, you were. Do you know what?
Not in one of the fancy bougie cinemas that Drift goes to. By the way, if you've not been on one of them Jamie Phillips shows and learned that Drifty goes to a cinema where you sit on a couch and you get fucking table service, they come in with fucking burgers and chips for you during your cinema trip, and you sit on a couch and watch a film. This bougie ass cinema. I'm not going there. I'm going to a good normal cinema, sitting on a shitty chair with a big fucking Coke and some sweets, and I'm watching a film.
I tell you what we'll do, Tom. We'll get all the lads together next time you come to London, and we'll go and you can experience what it's like. And then I'm telling you, afterwards you'll be like, I get it. Well, next time you come to London, bro, we'll get the lads together, and that's what we'll do, bro. That's what we'll do. You know what I mean? But no, people, big up yourselves every time. Hope everyone is good. And yeah, man, we will be back. We definitely have some content for you guys over the weekend. The next live show planned is Monday, but I'm sure we will have some stuff for you over the weekend. I will be doing the third place playoff and the final as well, guys. If you lot want to come and join me for that one. The third place playoff's just going to be vibes. Obviously, we'll be locked in for the final, but the third place playoff will just be vibes.
Ram. Let's address this right now. Are you possibly suggesting that because I'm a Scouser, you think I'm not going to pay for my cinema ticket? The reality is, I will pay for a ticket, just not the ticket I'll be sitting in. I will pay for the cheap. So I go to a View cinema. It's like you can get shitty seats for £3. No, slightly less shit it's £4 for the really shitty seats, £5 for the less shitty ones, £6 for the normal, or £7 for the normal ones, and £8 or £9 for the VIP ones. I will just buy a £4 ticket and sit in a normal seat. What are they going to do? Move me? They're not paid enough to fucking move me.
No, but you know what, Tom? You might be able to get away with that in Liverpool, but in London, usually it'll be so rammed that you have to be in the seat you're allocated because everyone will be sitting. Like, can you just go in and like it'll be so empty, like you can just sit where you want? It's not in London. It's barely ever like that.
Yeah.
Barely ever. Yeah, in London, normally you got to pick your seat because you will have to sit where you're. You know what I mean? Back in the day, how you're saying used to be, but I've noticed in the last, say, 10 years or so, you have to sit where you pick because it will be so packed that you won't be able to. So that's interesting. Bro, I'm telling you now, bro, you will love the experience, bro. You will love this. Imagine
I don't think
have to lift a finger for your beer. You haven't even got to lift a finger for your beer, bro. Someone brings it and they're like, there you go, sir. Bang, boom.
I don't think I could live with myself if I went and sat in a cinema on a couch watching a film. I don't think I could live with myself.
You would. You know, because before I'd ever done it, I was like, yeah, this is a bit unnecessary. And then I was the same as you. And then my friend was like, bro, let's do this. And you know, the first film I saw like that.
You know what we'll do, people?
What was the first film? I think it was The Dark Knight Rises. It was the first time
Fuck off.
That was the first time I ever experienced it.
That came out in 2012. You've been doing the bougie cinema for 14 years. 14 fucking years of, I want to go watch this film. Let me go on a fucking couch, baby.
Not every single
fucking
time.
hell.
Not every single time, but yeah.
You really do live a different life to us normal people. Fucking hell. Yeah, on average, just how much do you spend when you go to that cinema?
Normally, I would have dinner first, meaning I'd probably spend about 25 quid.
25 quid. So your ticket's 25 quid.
No, a ticket's about £20, £21, I think, and then you buy a drink.
Right.
I normally bring my popcorn with me. Like,
Okay.
I do normally bring.
Let's include like 1 or 2 times where you didn't. Let's say it's 35 quid. You ordered like something to eat. You spent 10 quid on food.
Sometimes I'll get drawn in if my boys are like, let me get a hot dog or whatever, or let me get a burger. So sometimes you're like, fuck it, yeah, go on, and then you get one as well.
So we'll say like 30, 35 quid.
Yeah, 30. Let's say an average visit will be 30 quid. Yeah.
I'm going tonight. I'm gonna get me ticket, me drink, and probably a hot dog. That will cost me.
Even in the View Cinema, in England, if you got a hot dog, a drink, and the ticket for the View, the same cinema, that'll still cost you about 20.
Sorry, it'll be about 12 quid. Just you've got to remember, I'm buying a 4 quid ticket here, mate. I'm not paying fucking 10 quid for my ticket.
It's actually blowing my mind that in Liverpool it's only £4 for a cinema ticket. That's actually blowing my mind. In London, the cheapest ticket I've ever seen, apart from when there's like a deal. Sometimes there might be a deal, like Tuesdays is a special day, and if you pick that day, you're cool.
No,
but normally
$12.50.
It's still $12.50 for the View for a ticket in London. So I can't believe you're saying it's only £4 for a ticket. Like that's mad.
I can get him for 4 quid. I mean, I could get him for free. They don't fucking check the ticket, but I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, so because that's how I look at it. Like that's how we'll look at it. We'll be like, why would we go and be uncomfortable for 2 hours in the View seat when for just £8 more you can go and be in comfort? Because the View isn't cheap in London. It's still about 12, 13 quid. So it's like you might as well be way more comfortable for a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
I do have to factor in as well. I've got a mate who works at a View, so I get like he
sorts me out like adding stipulations now, Tom.
But honestly, you know what I'll do, Drift. You know what I'll do. We can look it up right now. Let's go and search the View. Let's just search any View around in Liverpool.
In Liverpool, yeah, go on. I'm curious what the actual prices are because 4 quid is crazy cheap.
To be fair, do you want to know what the smarter thing to do as well is? Because it's actually probably cheaper to go and what's it called? Go to Birkenhead.
Connor's got a point. If you're seeing one of them Marvel movies at 3 hours, the View Cinema is not comfortable, bro. Like for 3 hours in them chairs, bro. Like that is not comfortable.
I'm fine with it. I've never known life differently, but you'd be better off going to like Birkenhead. You know, you can get a bus for like 2 quid. That takes you from town to Birkenhead. There's a View in Birkenhead. If I have a look at the price for the View in Birkenhead,
we'd normally drive. We'd normally drive if we were going to the cinema.
I might even just do this one. Yep, tickets are £4.99.
Right, is that how cheap it is outside London to go cinema?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to remember, Tom, we got London tax. Like everything we do in London is.
I've got a screening. There's screenings in Birkenhead. I could go at 7:15, 8:15, or 9. £4.99.
That is cheap, man. That is cheap. Fair play. In London, you can't really do that, man. Average ticket price in London is about 12 quid for the cinema. So.
London's fucking something else, you know. I can't.
Yeah, we know this already, though. You know what I mean? We already know. But yeah, let me know because if it's a good film, I'll go and see it.
I will do.
Let me know. But yeah, people, it's been a pleasure. Oh no, hold on, we got one more super. Would I have considered Oscar Bob for the right wing? Says Crowd.
You can't. Even
I think Oscar Bob is a really good player, but he's gone Fulham on a permanent, bro. So yeah. That would be. I do think they got a bargain though. They only paid like 20 mil for him, didn't they?
Yeah, but has he even done anything at Fulham yet? He was another one that
he's talented though.
He broke his leg, didn't he? Like he was supposed to have that breakthrough, and then he fucked his leg, and he never really got it going from that point.
You know, Ram's got. You know, when you come to London, Tom, we'll do the high life. We'll do that. We'll go to Everyman, and you'll experience the sofa watching the cinema. Then we'll go to M&S, and then we'll experience the food. Then we'll go for a night out afterwards. Don't worry, bro. We'll show you London. We'll show you London.
I mean, if you want to stay on for 2 minutes, the Szoboszlai contract's about to be announced.
Oh, like official, yeah.
Yeah,
3 o'clock.
The club are about.
Yeah, we can wait for that.
They've posted a video on it already. If you want to get that up, a video of him sitting in the stands.
Do you know what, Tom? I was saying to the chat earlier when I did the morning show, I'm going to try my best to not let this one pass by where we're just like, oh, wicked, and then we move on. Because I think we do that a lot, and then we don't realise how important it is. Look at the Ibu. Look at, like when we get the players who do go for free and we crash out, I think we've got to be a little bit more excited about when a player does actually sign the contract, and then we don't have to worry about that. So I'm over the moon with this Sobo one, because fuck having a whole season of worrying about him going Real Madrid and all that crap. Is it on the official Liverpool site? Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be on. It's on Liverpool's Twitter right now.
Let me check.
Say what though, that home kit looks better when it's actually on, when people are actually wearing it.
I definitely don't like the shorts being a different colour though, Tom. That's going to piss me off for the whole season.
The shorts are a different colour.
There they are, bro. And apparently Adidas did it on purpose because it's a reflection of what it was like back in
But we fucking played in it last season.
Yeah, and the shorts are a different colour to the top, Tom.
No, they're not.
They're a different
They're
shade.
red. Oh,
Tom,
they're different shade, different paint.
No, but it looks horrible, man.
Different shade, different paint.
No, Tom, it looks horrible, bro. It's too noticeable. It looked horrible. It was a proper put off. It was getting me mad. Is this the one, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, they got him sat on a chair in at Anfield. They've just posted a quote from him. Oh shit! I sat there for one of the games last season.
What, this exact place where Szoboszlai?
Around that area, yeah. I'm trying to remember.
How can you even tell?
Because there's a picture. So if you go back on the Liverpool account, they posted another one of him stood in the stands.
Oh, okay.
There you go. I reckon I sat about there.
Big up Sobo, man. Future Liverpool captain, man. Big up Sobo. Do you know the other thing I don't like about the kit, Tom? I think the actual pattern and everything is beautiful. Like, I do like the kit. I don't like the fit. When the players are wearing it, it's too baggy. I like things to be more of that close fit.
Yeah, but I think a lot of players choose that now, though.
Do you think so? What, you think they like the kit to be baggy and loose fitting?
Yeah, I think so.
I
personally don't. I like a tight fit.
Yeah,
I don't like feeling like me shirt's dragging.
Yeah,
loads. I think a lot of players do.
Yeah, I don't like the baggy fit. I hate baggy clothes.
There's more to come. Yeah. I want to win here. Big up Dominic Szoboszlai, by the way. He wants to win here.
Big up Dom, man.
If only certain people had chose to think that way, maybe they wouldn't be being replaced by Denzel Dumfries at Real Madrid after one season.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know, it'd be really funny. You know, it'd be really funny now, Drift, if we managed to sign down to a new contract and just played him fucking right back. now that we've got the power, now that he can't, leave on a free until 2031, we just shove him right back now. You're the solution to the problems. Right, we'll go buy midfielders. You're playing right back now.
All right, Tom, we're here now. Do you think if Slot was still manager, Szoboszlai signs that contract?
No.
Me neither.
No chance.
Me neither.
Apparently, there's a new one as well, a new post.
A new what's that?
They've got the articles out on the page about Messiah's contract. If you just refresh this page, it'll be at the top.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Look at that, man. What a good-looking fucking man.
Dominic Szoboszlai. has signed a new long-term contract at Liverpool FC. Have you got any information about the wages he's on, Tom? I was really trying to find the wages, and nobody's actually.
I haven't, but I know he's in the top bracket of earners now. It'll probably come out in the coming in like a couple of hours, I reckon. Because you got to remember that the Gravenberch one, it won't get broken by our journos. If it comes out, it'll get broken by a Hungarian. So the Gravenberch contract was broken by a Dutch journo. The thingy, the Gakpo one, broken by a Dutch journo. So I think that's the case.
If I was gonna if you were gonna guess, what would you say? 300?
I'd say he's on about the same as Gravenberch.
280.
Yeah, 280, give or take.
It'll be interesting. Oh, yeah, it's an actual article.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll have to.
I reckon he'll end up being the vice captain as well now.
The Hungarian international put pen to paper to extend his deal at the Reds ahead of the start of the 26-27 campaign. The forthcoming season will be Szoboszlai's fourth of the club since his arrival from Leipzig during the summer of 23, and the first under the new head coach, Iraola. Quoted, "It's maybe my biggest day," says Szoboszlai. There are a couple in front of it, probably when I signed for Liverpool, the first one, and when I got my baby, of course. But in my football career, I can say this is the top 3. Very happy. Can't wait to get going again and again and again. I'm just happy to be here, as I've said many times. Don't you just fucking love to hear those words, bro? Somebody who actually loves the club, wants to be here, committing futures. It is what it is. Big up, man. Big up.
It's a good start. You need to be getting guys like this side down.
You do. I tell you what's funny though, yeah, Tom. You made a joke earlier on, yeah, about maybe Pep Linders was right when he said training is our transfer. Bruv, I tell you what, we've got to start considering that being the motto again. Now we've got someone who's so good at coaching like Iraola. I do think the club are going to use Iraola to develop players way more than we are going to buy like all these astronomical fees and all this stuff. So we might need to get used to that. We really might need to get used to it.
I think we'll be all right, you know. I think everything will turn up Millhouse now.
Tom, if we get this window right, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be like huge signings and it's all, but just Iraola gets everything that he wants, regardless of what that is, title challenge. I do believe if we get the manager everything he wants, title challenge.
Why stop a title challenge? Title win.
Bro,
why stop there? Champions League win.
No, but are you being serious? Are you being serious?
Why stop there? Fucking quadruple. Why limit ourselves?
Now you're
why
being
limit?
No,
genuinely, I reckon we could win the Prem. I look at the team. It's still a core of players that won the league. Who's to stop us? If they get it going, we can be there. If they get it going, we can be there. You know what though, Drift? If I'm going to be picky, I want a Champions League again, you know. I'd rather the Champions League than the Premier League.
If Arsenal don't win the Premier League, I'm with you. I can't watch Arsenal go back to back. We need the Premier League.
There is nothing better. There's nothing better than winning the Champions League.
As a one-off moment in football, you're right. The euphoria on that night can't be topped. I think the Premier League is a better. I do think the Premier League is a better trophy overall. If you told me to pick one, I think I would pick the league.
No, the Liverpool and the Champions League is a football romantic story.
So Tom, if I said to you,
the thing with us in the Premier League was we hadn't won it for fucking ages, so it carried more weight there. The Champions League, if it's just a case of you ask me which trophy I prefer, it's the Champions League. Which memory? When you ask me the best Liverpool memories, Champions League.
So
It
if I
always
said
comes
to you,
back
so
to
if
the
I said
Champions
to you
League.
right now, Liverpool are going to do a three-peat, you get to pick which one it is.
Champions
you
League.
pick a Champions League.
I three-peat the Champions League.
See, I'd pick the league. You know, if we went back to back in the Premier League, that would be because then we've equaled what Man United have tried to like tease us about, and then we go to 23 as well.
Mm-hmm. But it's not the record, if you get me. City have done 4 in a row, so it'd be good, but it's not. It doesn't have the same weight. If we three-peat, we are the first English team to three-peat the Champions League.
Yeah, I hear that.
And I might be. We're
the only English team to go back to back. So
no, Nottingham Forest went back to back, didn't they?
Oh yes, they did. Yeah, you're right. They did.
But we'd be the only English team to have done a back to back and a three-peat. For me, the Champions League is where it is. A Champions League night is the pinnacle of football.
No, I agree in the moment.
Champions League night is the pinnacle of football.
I agree with you. I don't think there's bigger euphoria than winning the Champions League. Although here's the thing though, Tom, we say that, yeah, and I probably still will stand on that. But if you win the Premier League in the last minute of the game the way Aguero did for City, would the euphoria not be just as big?
Yeah, but that's requiring so many different pieces to fall into place. Drift, Liverpool have the greatest Champions League comeback ever. The greatest Champions League comeback ever. Liverpool then, the next final Liverpool won was one of the shittest games of football you'll ever watch. Me dad cried the same at both of them. Because it's the feeling of the achievement. And you're talking about, you win 3 Premier Leagues, you go to 23 Premier Leagues, or 23 English like us. We'd go to 9 Champions Leagues. You'd be 1 away from double-figure Champions Leagues.
No, bro, I love the Champions League. I'm not even mad at you. I love the Champions League. But I'm just thinking a three-peat in the league would be so good.
The only thing I'd take in terms of the only reason why I pick the Premier League over the Champions League, and it's a specific scenario, and it'll probably only be for a short time. If it's us versus United for who can get to 21 first.
But that's what I mean.
But if you're doing it this year, United might not be there. I'd need it to be. If you're telling me United are it's going to be you and United battling for the season.
Yeah.
I'd take it then because I'd want to beat United to that achievement. Otherwise, if I'm just battling with Arsenal or City, I'd want the Champions League because you got to think the Champions League. Who could be playing the final? Well, if we play an English team in the final, you get to hold that over their head for the rest of time. We beat you on your big day out. Let's say it's not them. Who else?
Beating Man United in the Champions League final will be the greatest night ever.
Drift. That would be the pinnacle. But imagine if we beat Arsenal. They haven't won one. They got to us. We'd stop them again.
Yeah.
City. After all the rivalry we have for ages, City. We do them in. You're talking about it's not an English team. They didn't make it there. Who else could it be? Well, it could be Real Madrid. Time to get that hoodoo off our back. They haven't lost the Champions League final since we did
beating
it.
Real Madrid in
1981.
The final would be elite.
We were the last team to do it in 1981. How about it does again next time round? Barca. I'd love to beat Barca in the Champions League final. Beat Bayern in the Champions League final. Get PSG. Beat PSG in the teams you can beat to win a Champions League are also more prestigious. And that, to me, carries a bit more weight. If you win a league title, you've been consistent. You've had the consistency over 38 games. But you haven't played... You've played three to four teams who are at that level of Champions League football.
What
you're
do you
doing it in the Champions League.
Win? What? Because you know we have there is this debate, and because a league is a marathon,
the harder one to win is the Premier League. I've seen... To win the Premier League, you 99% of the time have to be the best team that season. There's very few cases where you can say a team's won the league despite clearly not being the best team. In the Champions League, I've seen multiple teams win that tournament who aren't the best team in the competition. We've done it. Chelsea have done it twice. I because Champions League's a different kind of game. But that's why the Champions League's so much better. I love the euphoria around the Champions League and the heritage that Liverpool have with the Champions League. Drift, last season, we won the league in 24-25. Do you want to know what my second favourite game of that season was behind when we won the title?
Well, I'm guessing it was the Champions League game.
Real Madrid 2-0. Everything around that game.
Was that the game where McAllister got the winner or got the second goal? Was that
McAllister got the first, Gakpo got the second.
Yeah.
Kelleher saved the Mbappe pen. Everything around that game, the hoodoo off the back. You're talking. Is it going to be another one for them? Mbappe's first season at Madrid, is he going to show levels? And we rocked up and we played them off the fucking park. Last season, the best game, Real Madrid 1-0. When you beat Real Madrid. What was the second best game? When we beat Inter Milan. These carried the weight. Third, probably Everton, because it's always good beating Everton. But Liverpool's heritage and history with the Champions League always means that I'm going to side with the Champions League more so than the Premier League. If you're asking me, I've got to win one, it's the Champions League every day of the week.
But your only caveat to that would be if it was Man United.
If it was a case of you can beat United to 21 first, then I'd take the league just for that to hold it over the head.
So
if you're telling me, Drift, it's a case of you only get one. You either beat them in a Champions League final or beat them to 21. I'm taking the Champions League final. They could end up getting to 21. It is what it is. They will never shake losing to us in a Champions League final.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Fucking Chelsea fans can't shake it.
What if I said to you right here, right now, fate suggests Man U will win the Premier League this season, but Liverpool will win the Champions League this season. All Tom has to do is press yes. Are you pressing yes?
Yes, I'd do that. I'll take the Champions League.
And give Man United that 21. Fair enough.
I'm focused on myself, Drift, and I want a Champions League. You know what it would be? It would be a fucking good goal of it. It would be one hell of a goal of it where we're at now with the Kopish Kollab. Imagine the season where we're doing Kopish Kollab when we get through a quarter final, we get through a semi final, the excitement's building. Who knows what could end up happening? But with the final and stuff, I'd want to be around for that Champions League final.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that. I can't wait until Iraola gets us back to that level.
The league is great. The league is fantastic. But the Champions League, it's a thing with Liverpool. Liverpool's love affair with the European Cup. That's what it is.
The only thing I just hope and pray is that we're about to embark on the same journey we went with Klopp. Maybe in a different way, but when Klopp just after the first 2 years of getting the thing together, it was just collecting trophies. Just collecting trophies. I just really hope Iraola now is on a roll, and maybe there's some, teething problems, but eventually it's just like, yeah, we're just used to it. We're just winning stuff. I really hope that's the case, man. But look, we'll speak about this next week when we that's the perfect conversation that we should have had when Callan and Thingy were there. We should have asked them what matters more to you, the Premier League or the Champions League. For me, I just think Liverpool Football Club and the Champions League, it's a match made in heaven. I can't pick anything otherwise. We can revisit it next week when we got all the lads back and we see where everyone stands with it. Obviously, by then we may have made a transfer. Hopefully, we'll see. But chat, let's leave it there. Dominic Szoboszlai is still a red. You love.
We're saying on this Drift, it'd be so much easier if we could just win fucking both of them at the same time. Wouldn't have to pick them.
That is, Tom, in my lifetime, that is what I need to experience: the double, the Champions League and the Premier League. Honestly,
why stop at a double? Why not make it a treble?
No, because obviously a treble or quadruple would be out of this world. But I just want to live on a planet where I can actually be at that parade and the vice captain's got the Champions League and Virgil's got the Premier League, and we've actually got both the trophies.
The captain should have the Champions League. The Champions League's the bigger trophy.
Nah, I think if we did the double, I think the Premier League.
If you do the double, the Champions League should be in the captain's hands.
Oh, fuck it then. Virgil's just got them both. he's just holding them like this. He's just got fucking one in one hand, one. He's just holding both of them. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Do you know what it is though, Drift? Anytime we talk about a treble and stuff, I go back to fucking 21-22. I go back to we were so fucking close.
Tom, do you remember the night before the final game of the season, or even the morning of the final game of the season? No, fuck it, I'll do you one better. Do you remember finding out that Coutinho had just put City 2-0 up against... in that moment, I thought
I was in London. I was in London working the terrace that day. We were doing a whole watch party for it.
Okay.
I watched Coutinho make it 2-0 with my own eyes. I went, oh my god, it's gonna fucking happen. So the setup was the Liverpool game was on a telly there, and the City game was on a telly there, facing that way. I'm sat watching this one, and there's a crowd there watching the City game of Chelsea, Arsenal, United, whatever. And 80th minute, the first goal goes in, and you got them cheering, celebrating there. I'm watching us, second goal, cheering, celebrating, third goal. I've watched it fall apart in front of my own eyes inside 5 minutes, whilst I've got 20 fucking people who have no horse in the race laughing in my face. And now he went and fucking scored. I stand by it though. If we'd have won the league, on the week before, we wouldn't have lost that Champions League final.
I agree with you. The momentum would have been out of this world. Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
I think the wind just got took out of us.
Yeah, you could tell how deflated the players were after. Because do you know when the moment of deflation was? It was Mo running away with that absolute joy. We've got the goal. And then someone in the crowd going, no, City are actually winning.
He was doing that to him.
It was that moment when it was like Mo's face went, oh. Because remember, that we thought that Villa were winning. The players still thought Villa were winning. So he actually, in that moment, thought, I've just fucking scored the winning goal to win the league. There. I think the deflate, you're right. I think the momentum carries us over if we win that game. If we win the league, I agree with you. I definitely agree. But
we'll just have to get over the line next time.
We do. Now, what we need to do, Tom, is if we're going into the final day of the season and we need a win to win the league, it also needs to be in our hands. I'm sick of the fact that every time we've had that title race scenario, the other team has always had a point more or whatever, and they've had the advantage. I just want that. If that ever happens again, I need it to be in our hands, so we know win the game means we just win the league.
That's ideal, isn't it? But I think it's written in the stars that the first time we win a title race is going to be coming from behind. It's the
way to make your heart attack stronger, but yeah,
it's what Liverpool Football Club do.
Yeah, and you know what's annoying me more than anything is that Brighton took the lead. I know. The other time
they were never going to do anything though. In
they
reality.
weren't, but didn't it give you hope for 5 minutes though, bro? When Brighton took the lead, like you were still.
It wasn't even 5 minutes. 50 scored a minute later.
Yeah, well, it was pretty quick to be fair. But anyway.
Literally, Glenn Murray scored the thingy, the header off the corner. A minute later, Aguero equalises, and you went, well, we had the run.
I think City still had to win the game though, but yeah, once City equalised,
they had to win once he made it 1-1, you knew it was done.
Yeah, you did. One more super just come in quick from Andre. Sobo 2031 and Bowen staying at West Ham in the same day. Champagne. Big up Andre. Andre's definitely been the biggest supporter of Szoboszlai, even when everyone else, including myself, was worried about him. So big up Andre. He's always been there. People, big up your damn selves as always, and we'll catch you on the flip. We're out of here. Peace.